Okay, the straps on the table, leave the guns out. You better look both ways when you come out. Head good, feel like she got more than one mouth. She gon' throw it back with her tongue out. Ay, I ain't never been mad at a bitch. I ain't never been sad over a bitch. I'm just tryna get rich. I be off the drugs, off the shit, bitch. I ain't your bae, I'm your pimp. Ay, like this. Bitch, I know you pissed, I'm the shit. The more I get rich, the more stingy with this dick. I got you drunk, going stupid off a sip. Pay the fool, hey, you know I'm getting money like me. Broke nigga ain't getting money like this. Diarrhea on the scene, I be stunned like shit. Heavy steppers, 100 like clippers. Nigga might buy a purse for the right bitch. Hey, bitch, I got you drunk and I'm drunk too. She gon' chop cocaine like it's kung fu. My old bitch tryna call me on walk too. I'm going crazy in the pussy, I can pop two perk. Get all my money and I skirt. I get right to the fucking, I don't really like to flirt. Had a block bitch number, now I really got her hurt. Now I really got her hurt. Roll a blunt, fuck a bitch right before I go to church. Water on my neck, make a bad bitch thirst. RP my granny, know she hate when I curse, but these bitches ain't shit. I put a nigga in a hearse. Good tone, you can smell it when I burn with a hole when I pull it. I'ma put that bitch to work. These bitch ass niggas bullet holes in they skirts. When I hit, I'ma hit it where it hurt. Ice water. Look at my neck, ice water. Niggas saying that they hard, but they know that I'm hard. See them looking on the block, so you know that I got them. Blue tips in this place, so you know that I'm not them. After that, celebrate, let's go shopping. I've been putting in OT, bitch, I'm clocked in. And on the game, shout out tight, cause we locked in. Bitch, yeah, we locked in. Bravo been a stop in. Fuck a op with a thoughts, bring a bop in. Times money, little bitch, bring the guap in. I do the dash in my lane, you wanna hop in. Okay, leaning like a turtle with a walk in. Hey, blowing off the sis, pass the rock in. Hey, burn a nigga ass with a hop in. I'm top two and not two, watch your top 10. Hey, I've been rolling off, tripping on the perk. I've been counting up 50 while I'm sipping shirt. Bitch, I feel like Ray J, cause I hit it first. Niggas try to do me dirty, but I did them worse. Damn.
Friday vibes.
I go down and
you know it's Friday on a Thursday. How's everybody doing?
Okay, the straps on the table, leave the guns out. Better look both ways when you come.
Big night tonight. How's everybody doing, man? Shout out to everybody in the comments. Comments is blowing up right now. I am stoked for tonight, man. Yee. What up? Let me my headphones on. Probably help me hear things. All right, what up? What up? How's everybody doing tonight, man? What's going on? It's your boy MJ in the building. Welcome to another Trap Talk session. Oh man, stoked. Before we get started, there we go. Before we get started, guys, please do me a favor. If you support this channel anyway, give me a like, or what? Subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Yeah, man, let people know what's going on with the Trap Talk sessions. We got a lot of cool people coming on to the show, man. And just people with knowledge, people who've been doing this for a while. I'm super stoked, man. So really, really excited to keep these going because they ain't going to go anywhere. I'll tell you that much, man. Hot ass day over here in California. I'll tell you that much, man. We've been having a hot ass week. So this drink's going to taste very, very crucial right now. What up, Shane? Shout out to Shane, Small Town Exotics. Who else is up in the building right now, man? Brewer Boys, Jocelyn, man. We got Joel State 48. So what up, Joel? How you doing, bro? All right, make sure I'm good now. Yeah, guys. So, man, I don't know if you guys checked out last week's Trap Talk session with cheers, by the way. Let me get this going. Yeah, but last week's Trap Talk session was awesome with Eric Chambers, Eric and Mary Chambers. Really, really cool people, man. We got to talk about a lot of cool stuff that he, how he got into BHB and whatnot and other things like that. So, if you guys missed that episode, make sure you go in the link in the description below. Check out the episode of that last week, and then also check out Brian Cusco's and all the other previous Trap Talk with MJ sessions are in the link in the description below. So if you guys want them, if you're just now new to the channel or new to the podcast and just now catching up on things, man, well, dude, don't miss out on any of those. So make sure you check that out. Oh, what? You like my Zoo Dreams hat? Yeah, new snapbacks for the Zoo Dream teams. Oh man, I love it, man. The Supreme editions. Gotta love it, man. But yeah, guys, so tonight, right? Got a really cool guest. Man, this guy is all around the board. Just everything he produces and works with is like world class, like really, really next level. But then he also has really, really next level ball python shit, man. A lot of you guys like ball pythons, man. Ultra mill clowns. He has a lot to talk about with stuff like that. So pretty excited to bring on my homie, big bro, Marcial Mendez. What's up, Marcial?
What's up? How's it going, brother?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. How am I sounding?
You're lagging as hell right now.
Okay.
Wait, no, now you're good. Actually, no. You know what? It did it for like the first 5 seconds. I'm tripping.
Okay, cool.
You're good. You're solid. How you doing, man? How's everything?
Good. Everything's good, man. Almost a weekend.
Almost a weekend. Don't worry. Yeah. I make this show feel like it's the weekend already. So
yeah, right. Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers, bro. Yeah. What do you got drinking over there?
Little Radler. It's beer, pretty light beer.
Light beer.
So, yeah.
I miss beer. I used to drink a lot of beer. But now me and beer just don't get along.
Yeah.
Yeah. My body just, I'm at that age. Well, not that I have to, I'm at that age where like I'm listening to my body now. Like there's certain things where like my body is like, yo, it's not going to work out anymore. And unfortunately, drinking beer, like especially like IPAs, like the heavy stuff.
Oh yeah, too much.
Dude, and I used to like, man, there was a point where I was like drinking, packs of those, and you get a pretty solid buzz just off 2 cans,
Oh yeah,
it's like 8%, 9%, but
yeah, it's like it's like 3 Miller Lights in one beer.
Right. I mean, Miller Lite to me is like water. I mean,
yeah,
but yeah. Anyway, so me and beer don't get along unless it's Tecate Light. Like for whatever reason, if it's beer, it has to be Mexican beer. It has to be like either a Corona Light or a Tecate Light or a Pacifico. I don't know what it is. Those are the only things that my body's like cool with, and it has to be obviously moderations, which I was never good with moderations anything.
Yeah, it's tough to only drink a few beers. They just go down so smooth when they're cold.
I found out that bourbon actually does well. Like I don't actually
bullet.
Bullet. Yeah, I'm not actually hurting when I drink this stuff. So that's why I kind of switched, and I'm like, at least I'm happy I can still get a buzz on. But definitely miss my choice of beers. My cousin owns a brewery down the street from me, and a Creative Creature Brewery, and they have they brew their own beer, and it's like it's nonstop the kind of like flavors they come out with and stuff.
Yeah.
And have you ever had the sours? Like there was
called
sour. Dude, I was a big sour guy. My roommate a few years ago put me on sours, and that's all I would drink for a while. Maybe that's probably what it did with it. That citrus, like it just messes, dude. That stuff.
Yeah. You don't want to drink too many of those.
Yeah, and of course, like I said, me and I don't listen to any of that stuff, and that's not probably why I'm paying for it. So, anyone out there who's on the sour and IPA tip, fucking chill out, enjoy it, but slow your roll with it. Yeah, man. So, cheers to you, Marcial. Red Mountain Herps, man. So we had Marcial on the Unfiltered Reptiles podcast show.
That was fun.
That was awesome. I wasn't done with him. I wanted to ask Marcial if he would come on my show and holler at my snake trap session peeps and whatnot. So here he is, man. Marcial Mendez. We talked about in the previous show that Marcial's upcomings wasn't beginning with ball pythons. Am I right? We didn't start off with ball python.
No. Well, yeah. When I was a kid, it was corn snakes and boas and things like that. But no, the collection that I have, this collection that's about, I don't know, I started it in 98, I believe.
Okay.
So whatever, 20 something years old, chondros were first.
Nice. Chondros. And then at what year was that when the chondros?
That was the first snakes I bought were chondros.
For breeding purposes or just to keep?
No, with the intention to breed, but I started off with all babies. So I just bought, I bought 10 babies over the course of a couple, year or two, and then didn't buy anything else until those were, paying for themselves.
Okay. Now let's fast forward real quick and let's talk about, your first interaction or your first transaction picking up ball pythons. Was it pies? I can't remember with you.
Yeah, Rico Walder, my friend, gave me a het male pied ball python.
2010. Was that was early 2000s, right?
It was like probably 2005 maybe or something like that. It was, they were still worth a little bit.
Right.
But anyway, that kind of got me down the wormhole.
Right. And then that wormhole led to what? So it was pieds. You went at pieds. At what year did you hit the pied?
I don't. Yeah, I did one season. 2 or 3 years. I had that snake alone for probably about 6 months, and then
right? The het.
Yeah, the het. Yeah.
Okay.
And then just kind of went on I think I had come back from Daytona, or it must have been Daytona, and went on a roll buying shit. Just kind of got sucked in. Pieds, clowns. I always liked the recessive albinos. I had some albino stuff. I had some of the earlier morphs. I had, obviously pastel, spider, all that kind of stuff.
What was the stuff getting you most excited? Like like you said, you went to Daytona, you're getting reeled in so many different directions, but what was it? So you said you had albinos, but is there anything else out there that was just making you like hungry to get after or make, or like what was your big drive with ball pythons? Was it just to be a wholesaler, or did you want to make did you want to make the rarest and craziest shit?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to make the nice, some of the nicest stuff. Wanted to make stuff that not everybody else was making. Kind of played the long game with the double recessives. Yeah. Looked at a bunch of normal looking snakes for a long time. Okay. So that's not a lot of, when you open the rack and every snake's a het, and just looks normal. It's not as fun as it is now. But it's taken a long time, to build it up.
Yeah. And also depends where your mindset's either. I mean, yeah, you're looking at hets, but what are you really looking at? Like, are you looking at right now? Are you looking at 3 years from now? Are you looking at like what it could possibly be when it's time to breed?
I was looking way ahead. But that's pretty much what you have to do.
Period.
That's the only way I've been able to do it.
Hey, do I sound distant or anything? I feel like I sound like shit.
No, you sound good to me.
All right. I have this new microphone stand I'm not a fan of. I'm returning it because I can't like adjust it. And maybe I'm getting insecure in how I sound. I don't know. But
sounds fine to me.
Perfect. All right. So Marcial, as far as like the clowns, right? Like when did that enter your world? Or was it Ultra World that came into your world first?
I know it's clown first.
Okay.
I think I traded a guy in Florida at Daytona, a couple of chondros, and I got, I don't remember, a nice group of clowns from him that were also blade. So one of the females that I got from him looked almost like a genetic stripe. It was so reduced. And that snake is kind of the founder of all of my clown stuff that I have now. Okay. So it's, I can't tell a normal from a blade, just a straight up blade. But so
you're not the only one who feels that way. And
yeah,
there's people who've actually just thrown the towel in on blade because of that. They're just like, what's the purpose?
Yeah. I can't tell them apart. So, but I'll have super blade and blade clowns just pop up all the time.
Right. And that you can tell.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You can tell those.
Right. It's all about just numbers, man. You gotta keep rolling the dice. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Yeah. I had a funny story, but I had, in the beginning. So Marcial, I know you're not too you're not into like the social media, like the way like a lot of people are, like myself. You know what I mean? I think we talked about that. Right?
Yeah.
But I got into it in the sense where it was like I got, kind of not stuck in the drama, but there was drama, right? And it was all because just the people I chose to buy snakes from, right? And other people didn't. They had something to say about it, because you make friends, and obviously people are like, oh, you bought that snake from him, and it leads into all this other stuff that comes up, and it's like, whoa, what the hell?
Yeah.
But it it got so crazy with this blade gene one time. So shout out to my boy Chris Cercery over at Ball Pythons 101. He was one of the first people to like educate me and really help me in the right direction with ball pythons. And you know, I believed everything he sold me, you know, and he sold me this pastel 100% het clown snake. And as it got a little bit bigger and shedded and whatnot, he messaged me. He's like, hey man, I'm pretty sure that snake has blade in it. That's a pastel blade, 100% het clown. He's like, we'll find out though. And I'm like, oh man, that's awesome, right? So of course I started posting it as a pastel blade 100% het clown. A lot of people didn't, not a lot of people, but small little portion of people didn't like that.
Didn't like that?
Yeah. So I had one character and he reached out to me and kept telling me how like, hey man, you shouldn't post that has blade. It doesn't have blade. And I'm like, well, how do you know? Like you didn't breed it. And it was a back and forth thing to the point where the guy wanted to drive down and talk to me in person. Basically, but it wasn't like, you know, hey, let's talk. It was like, hey, let's fight. Very stupid.
Let's fight.
Yeah, basically. And you know, I'm not gonna lie, Marcial. This hobby's helped me a long ways with, like, you know, I'm not gonna lie. I came into this hobby not really new to things, but I was like, is this how these fucking snake breeders are? Like, is this really how it goes down? You know what I mean? And it turns out it's really not everybody. It is unfortunately a small fucking portion of people who really think they're high and mighty. But either way, it came down to this guy and us having so much. Like I got so over to like how much hate he was giving on this snake that I actually was able to produce a snake last year, and I paired it. It was a pastel blade, 100% clown paired to a blade clown, and I got a super blade clown out of it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That was the reward, right?
You were redeemed.
Yeah, I mean, the guy's had me blocked for, I don't know, 2 years now ever since then. I don't know. I mean, who knows? But that feeling right there was like, holy shit, I knew it. I just believe, you know, I believe in the people I buy snakes from. I really do, because I technically don't buy from just random people unless it's a rare ass snake. And I don't.
Right.
Luckily,
I tend to, you know, buy mostly from people that I know, or, you know, somebody that I know can vouch for them or whatever, you know.
Yeah. So that was I'm telling you, that's kind of like the reward this hobby gives you. Even if there's no drama, which I don't hope there's none of that kind of drama for people, but it's the waiting game, because you don't have a choice. You have to wait, right? You're in a position where you're forced to wait, but then it kind of tells you like, hey, look, this is why you wait. Like, look what happened.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's beauty why I love this. And I'm sure you've had a lot of experiences with that, you know, with all the different species you work with, the freaking heartbreak chondros, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pretty rough, right? I mean, if you could kind of, it's hard, right? But I mean, like, compare your success or your case by cases incubating chondro eggs compared to ball python eggs.
I mean, the eggs are pretty much, you know, they're maybe a little bit more sensitive, but I mean, I set them up exactly the same way. You know, they're all in the incubator together. They're all in the same, you know, maybe I use like a smaller egg box, but I mean, you know, they're all pretty much, they're in there with the ball python eggs. And, you know, I've tried it a couple of different ways. My first clutch was actually like, you know, stuck in vermiculite. And then, you know, I think one clutch I started, you know, putting them in little dishes over water. Now I just use like saturated perlite and saturate that with water, and then just put like a plastic, you know, egg crate on top of that and sit the eggs directly on top of the plastic. So they're not touching the moisture, or, you know, but it's really humid. And I set the chondro eggs up just like the ball pythons, you know.
That's crazy. Pretty
much treat them the same. Yeah, hatching them is you know, not that you know, not that difficult. Getting the babies going is where it's, you know, that's where chondros are the toughest. You know, you can feed 50 baby ball pythons in, you know, an hour. It's like nothing. But feeding 50 baby chondros, that's like you know, several hours over the course of a week, you know, every night to do that.
It's I mean, I've this might knock on some damn wood. This might be my first share at like having a clutch more than one that I have to fucking feed as far as chondros go. And, you know, I'm looking for that kind of struggle, because the struggles make you stronger. Am I right? I mean, you wouldn't be where you're at if it wasn't for, you know, countless nights of you do you have any moments where you just want to pull your hair out because you just can't?
Oh, fuck yeah. All the time.
Dude.
Had one last night, you know, it just.
Still having them. That's what I'm saying. People ask, like, when do you become an expert? I'm like, you don't. Like, you always go through shit. Like, shit's always going to fail on you. Like, you know, like, maybe not as much, you know. I feel like some people do have better luck in a sense, or they're just dialed in, you know what I mean? But either way, even the most dialed in people have shit go south on them. It's
sure. Yeah, it's going to happen, you know.
It's when it's going to go down. So, I remember. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say there's a lot more of that with green tree pythons than with ball pythons. You know, ball pythons. I think I've had one get sick ever. You know, that I had to give shots to, and it recovered, and it's been fine ever since. You know, and that's the only problem I've ever had. And you know, it's not the same with green trees. You know, the females, the prolapses, you know, it's a lot harder snake to deal with in that regard.
You just have to battle regret in your mind a lot. Even though you don't regret, it's like, fuck, it's like, why?
Yeah, why am I doing this?
But then, you know, if you go to Red Mountain Herp's Instagram page, which link in description below, you will see why he does this. This guy's animals are amazing. They're gorgeous. Well, you just post a most recent neonate red chondro, or I don't know what. Yeah, it was red.
Yeah.
What clutch was that from?
I don't remember exactly which one. I've posted a couple, I think, the last few days, but Tiger Stripe, either one, and either Calico or Versace for the dad.
Now, if I'm correct, these are lines that you're creating, like, and you're able to name these lines, or these are just
Calico and Tiger Stripe are both bloodlines that have been around for a while. You know, Calico was kind of one of the very first designer chondros. You know, bloodline, commonly referred to bloodlines that had a name. You know, Lemon Tree was another one. There was some back in the 90s that had. And it stayed yellow, you know. Or no, I think the guy, Tim Termesi was the guy's name. He got a pair. They were normal looking green snakes. I think they might have been like sarongs or something like that. And he bred them together and started the Lemon Tree line. Like, you know, several of the babies turned out to be the Lemon Tree founders, just randomly.
Now, is the Lemon Tree line one of the lines that are really hard to reproduce? Like, are those have a lot of they egg bound, or a lot of stuff just goes really terribly bad? Yeah,
particularly with the females for whatever reason. The males, you don't really have that, you don't have any problems with them for the most part. But they breed well. The males will, there was a few, I think, at least, that lived for a while, were good breeders. With the females, I know very few. I can think of maybe like one person or two that ever had a good, clutch from a female Lemon Tree. So,
dude, okay, so all my ball python peeps, I want you guys to peep game on this. Imagine, I don't know, what's a Lemon Tree cost? How many racks is that?
They're probably like back then they were probably 10 grand or something. That's a guess.
So let's say, like, what's a 10 grand snake now? What, a fucking red stripe Justin Kabelka's snake, maybe? Okay, let's just say one of his snakes. Yeah. But let's just say you buy a female from Justin Kabelka, and you have those odds against you about a snake probably not going to reproduce for you. Or you don't even know that. You breed the snake and the shit happens.
Right.
Like, that is a nightmare, bro. Like, that. How's that going to make anybody not want to just fucking throw the towel in on a $10,000 snake that you lose?
Yeah, I mean, it can be tough, but the good part is when you hit it, when you get a nice clutch of and then some nice babies, and they all do well for you, and they then they survive and mature, that's what makes it worth it.
100%. Because you have all those odds against you, and when you beat the odds, it's like, yeah, it's
right.
A really good feeling, man. And that's why my heart is always, I'm telling you, man, chondros did something different to me. I mean, I'm willing to fucking take losses if needed, year after year, if I have to, with chondros. I don't care. I'm still going to keep
and
them.
It may not happen, might not happen to you. I went a really long time before it started happening to me. I went probably 7-8 years without any, zero problems. And I didn't like change anything or do anything different, but, and it's not like it happens every time, but like if you're, I think we talked about this on, a couple weeks ago, but if you have 4 pairs and 2 of them go for you, that's usually pretty good odds. As far as getting viable eggs or viable offspring from them. Hopefully the females don't get sick and in the process. They just seem really stresses them out for whatever reason.
Yeah. Hopefully a lot of shit. But that's why I give so many props to the people who kind of mentored me on the way in here. Like Andrew Acevedo was one of the first people in my reptile life who basically prepped, embraced me for everything. And even if it was something I didn't want to hear him say out of his mouth, I think the first thing he told me to do after I told him what I had a wild import fucking emerald and was regurgitating, right?
No, yeah.
He's like, throw that thing in the fucking freezer right now. I was like, and I had just paid like $800 for it.
Oh.
I took that very personal. I was like, dude, you're hating. Like, you're a fucking hater. Like, why would you say so? I didn't text him that, but in my mind, I was like, why would this guy tell me to do that? I thought it was so far-fetched. And I thought he was having a bad day or something. And I was like, and then you know who else told me that? I went to somebody else and asked him, hey, what do you think I should do? And they told me the exact same thing. Who do you think it was?
Forrest
fucking Fanning, dude. And when he told me at that point, I was basically Forrest was like my fucking guru. He was like always saying shit, and I would just listen, and a lot of his stuff was accurate, and it was, checking out for the most part.
Sure. And
that's when I was scratching my head. I'm like, what am I doing, man? Do I really know about these imports? Like, do I really know what I'm getting myself into? And then of course,
I wouldn't know what to do. Like there's a few guys that can do it and have done it, they like getting imports and they do well with them. They've kind of just dialed it in over the years, for what to treat them with and for, and they end up, having a pretty good success rate with them. But if you just buy captive bred, you don't have to worry about any of that shit. That's the good thing.
Exactly. That at the end of the day, don't cut it short. But like I said, some people don't know. Like, look, I knew captive bred was like captive bred, but I didn't know why captive bred was captive bred. I didn't know what this wild import shit's gonna probably most likely do, especially an emerald. You know what I mean? Or even a chondro.
Chondros are the worst. Like baby import chondros are notorious for living a year and then just dying for no reason. Because they're, they come in with parasites, and most people who are buying that buy it as their first snake, because they haven't learned the lesson the hard way yet, and they don't treat it, they don't know to treat it, and the thing does great for a year, and then it just it come in and it'll be dead one day for no apparent reason.
So RIP, the last import I had to put down, which was my last emerald import period. I don't have any more wild imports in this damn room, thankfully. But the last one I had, Marcial, I was, the guy who's been selling me wild imports. Some people have their insight on him. I have my personal experience, and he's done me pretty right. And yeah, he kind of has guided me with like, what do you do when you have a snake that might have parasites and something. He would mail me shit. Like, he would mail me like medicine to cure it.
Yeah.
And, I was almost like, man, this is cool. Like, at least I'm getting the hands on how to do this. And I remember two times I messed up. And it shouldn't be this. Let me get your insight on this too. So anyways, I treated a snake. I forgot what it was, flagell or something, but I ended up treating a snake and waited 30 days. And this was an emerald that regurgitated. So I did the treatment, waited 30 days. I offered a small meal.
What is the treatment? Is it just like you give it some medicine?
Yeah, so it's obviously by the gram of the snake. So you weigh the snake, right?
Yeah.
then there's either panicure or flagell.
Okay, so it's like a wormer.
Exactly, a dewormer.
Okay.
Like if whatchamacallit, panicure is a dewormer for horses, right?
Right. Yeah.
You gotta be careful how much you put down their damn throat because you could.
How do you give it to them?
Syringe.
Like a shot, like an injection, or
down the throat. Just.
Yep,
down
okay.
I actually have a video, or I posted a picture of me doing it on Instagram when I was trying to save the snake at the time. But
is there no way to like inject the rodent with it or anything? Or no, because you don't want to feed it.
It's like, yeah, it's not liquid, it's cream. It's weird. It's like
okay.
So it's like you have to get it down there, you have to squeeze it, and then you have to shut the mouth and make sure they chill.
I'm sure they love that.
Yeah, it's terrible, bro. Honestly, I didn't like doing it because it's an emerald, right? Emeralds have this had a monster head. And she was losing weight out of nowhere, and that's when I had shout out to my boy Ryan Willison. Ryan, who could be pretty direct sometimes as well. He was like, "Hey man, he's been watching that snake as I've been posting it. He's like, hey, that snake's getting skinnier. Like I guarantee that snake has parasites." And I was like, oh shit. And he made a good point. The snake was still eating, but it was losing weight. So I was like, dude, it is losing weight. Oh
wow, yeah.
Yeah. So I told the guy I bought it from, and he sent me the meds. I treated it for about a month. Then I waited 30 days, offered it a meal, and it took it. Everything went well. Took the meal. Okay. I guess I was supposed to keep the meal small, which hence their emeralds could take down any fucking size meal. They could take monstrous meals if it's healthy. But
right.
I'm just going off with
this.
So basically I feed it a small meal the first time. The second time around, I give this girl fucking like close to a medium wrap. Okay. So I gave it, not even thinking anything. Come back, 3-4 days later, she fucking yaks it out. It's on the floor. And I'm like, oh shit. So here she is. I've had her for about over a year, and she's never regurged. Now she regurged. So I'm thinking in my head, it's because I fed her too big of an animal. Maybe I'm thinking, right? Even though this was a big emerald. So that's what I'm thinking. But after that, she couldn't fucking even stomach a mouse, bro. She never bounced back after that.
Really?
Yeah, it was depressing. And I had her in a room.
Yeah, if they're healthy, they can definitely take big meals.
That's what I'm learning. And but this whole time I'm thinking,
if they're healthy, they can definitely take big meal. Yeah.
I have now 7 captive bred emeralds, and they can handle meals like no issues. There's no issues with them at all. I've even stopped. Right. Man, maybe that was too big. But not, they digest it. Yeah. That's why you go captive. Yeah. But anyways, it sucked. That was a fucking heartache because, I went through all that treating it, and I felt like I was the one that killed it because I fed it too big of an animal, and it created some urge. But really, at the end of the day, if that was a healthy emerald, it would have been fine to begin with. So
yeah, should have been able to take it. They can take big meals.
Yeah. And you never messed with any imports, right? You never even dabbled in that whatsoever. Smart.
Never. No, I've never had a snake that wasn't captive bred since in this collection.
You always knew that? You always knew to be smart like that, or was that just your choice?
I mean, I had done a little bit of research before I bought my first one, and that was a pretty consistent theme. Buy captive bred, and it's like a completely different animal. So that's just what I did.
Because you got to be honest, Marcial.
I didn't want to get. I would have.
What are you gonna say?
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. Go ahead. You wouldn't what?
Am
I lagging? Hi.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Lagging.
Oh
yeah.
Shoot.
Yeah. Sorry.
Is it me or is it you?
Could be me. I don't know.
Okay.
You hear me? Okay.
I hear you perfectly fine, but if anybody in the comments could tell me who's lagging, if it's me or Marcial, that'd be great. But you can hear me fine now, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So what were you saying?
I don't know. I was going to ask you, what the fuck were you saying? My fucking mind is just gone. I'm like, God damn it, we might have to exit it in and out right now. But wait. Dude, I don't even know. I know we're talking about something related to import. Oh, okay, I know. All right, so you do have to admit, there's been a time where you've seen a fucking crazy imported chondro or emerald.
Oh, of course.
There are some crazy ass shit that gets imported, dude. But it's like, what is it gonna live?
Yeah, like all the Kofi owls and the canary chondros, those were all imports. Probably, which is why there's not a whole lot of them left around. Most of them probably died off. So,
shout out to my boy Socrates. My boy Socrates here. He has some really, really nice chondros. You might have to remind me, man. I don't know if he has a lemon line, but he has some sort of like high yellow lines that are really, really awesome.
I've seen his pictures on Facebook.
You seen him?
Definitely.
Yeah. This guy's awesome, dude. He has some really cool stuff going on, basins and all that stuff. Do you have any basins?
Yeah, I have a trio.
Dude, I'm tripping, bro. You showed pictures of your baby basins that you produced, right?
It's been a while since I've had one litter of them, which was in 2013, and then I ended up getting an offer on the pair that I had. I raised them up from babies. They were like 7 years old, and had their first litter for me. And this guy was just like wanted them. I was like, they're not for sale. And he just kept on, at least just over the course of, a month or two. And, finally he just threw a number out there. I was like, all right, I'll sell them to you. They're yours. So anyway, I didn't have any for a while. And then here about probably a year ago, I got a sub-adult trio. 2 are from Steve Volk and 1's from Ed.
Nice. You have some Ed work.
I think what I have from Ed is Diamond Line, and then I have a pair from Steve Volk, and I'm not sure what I know what the parents are. It's written down somewhere, but I'm not exactly sure what he calls that line. But both of them are just like completely textbook, perfect 3-scale stripe with crossbars all the way down. This is as textbook as they come. Right.
In my opinion, if you have anything that Ed produced in your collection, in a sense, it's sort of like owning a Ferrari.
100%.
I feel like it'd be the same way with a lot of your chondros and shit too. It's just you don't see that stuff. It's just so unique. And that's why it's almost hard just to pick like a specific line you produce. Because I mean, okay, how many clutches of chondros are you typically producing every year, or does it vary? Or
I mean, the most that I've ever had is 4. And I started doing it. The first clutch I had was in 2001, I believe. Okay. And I've had at least 1 clutch every year except for 2 of those years in there. And some years 2, some years 3. 1 year I had 4. Like it was maybe 54, 64 babies, something like that.
That's a lot of work, dude.
Yeah, but I didn't have the ball pythons then, so I mean, it was different. Now having 4 clutches plus all the ball, doing all the ball pythons, it's just a lot of it's a lot of hours to put in,
Bro,
which is I love doing it, but at some point it's like, man, I'm a one-man show with the snakes and the rodents and so. Sometimes it can wear on you,
It's not the type of work where it's like, okay, like fucking here, you have to shovel this shit and do this and like work that kind of work for an hour. It's mental work. It's like, you have to think and think and think. You know what I mean? And then every neonate could be different. And you like, especially if you're just getting to know them and like your first trial. Like I talked to my boy Patrick Holmes. I'm sure you know Patrick Holmes, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
He's so player, but Patrick Holmes, man, he's
the man. Yeah, he's like so much knowledge.
He's fucking goddamn Texas.
Way more than me.
Yeah. I never loved Texas so much after I met Patrick Holmes, man. I always loved Texas, but after meeting him, like, oh my god, my heart just grew. for Texas. You know, you don't mess with
Yeah,
Texas.
totally.
Anyway, so Patrick Holmes.
No, you don't.
Patrick Holmes is an awesome friend of mine who's always giving me the time of day, talks to me on the phone, and a lot of his stories that he shares with me is, you know, feeding neonates for the first time. And I think he's like, you never want to produce more than 4 clutches in a year. You're going to shoot yourself in the foot.
Just depends, you know. It depends on you know, what level you're going to do it at, and you know, how much time you have to spend on it.
That's true.
You know,
not doing anything.
I've been in people's snake rooms before that had 240 some odd chondro babies. So, you know, there's a way you can do it, but not one man show, part-time snake breeder, you know?
Yeah, 100%. It really just depends on what your day-to-day life is and what you have to do. If you have a 40-hour plus job, more likely it's going to be difficult.
Yeah,
unless you
it is. Plus juggling that with family and, you know, just having time for other pursuits, you know, other hobbies. Sometimes it's going to be tough. It's kind of like, I like this time of year, you know, how things kind of ebb and flow as far as workload, you know, like towards the middle of the baby season when I've got a shitload of babies. It's like can be a grind sometimes, you know, now, and the, you know, that I've sold most of what I want to sell from last year, you know, numbers are pretty manageable right now. And it's nice, you know, it's nice just to be able to do it a little bit. But when it's baby season, you know, it's full time. It's like having another job.
Hey, Marcial, let's have you log out and go to I'm going to go to the email I sent you, like just recent with the live link, and go to that link and back in, because you're lagging pretty hard right now. So if you do that, it'll reset everything.
All right, I'll do it.
Thanks, man. Little technical difficulties, but I just see a lot of lagging on my end, and that kind of stuff's messing with me. But shout out to everyone in the comments, man. You guys are live. I hope you guys are having a great night. My boy Socrates, man, this dude is so sick. Don't worry, Socrates, I got you, bro. We're gonna get on that. I'm gonna get on that topic. But what I want to say before Marcial gets back in here is I want to give a shout out to everyone who has families out there, like kids and stuff, that have to deal with day-to-day stuff with their children, especially doing this COVID stuff. But even when they go back to work and they have like 40+ hour jobs or just work consistently grinding and they do the snake stuff, my hat's off to you. Honestly, that's the kind of shit that inspires me, man. That's the kind of shit that I loved Miguel about Miguel and stuff. And a lot of you other people, Cusco, so many people out there who have families that just able to fit this into their lives in a positive way. I hope for the most of you. But what's up, Marcial?
What up? Is that better?
Way 100%. I was just talking to people. Like, one of the things that inspires me the most is people who are, people who have a family, right? Like, obviously family that's important, but then yet they're still able to keep their passion for the animals they keep. You know what I mean? And able to just keep promoting their business and posting stuff. And I look up to that a lot, because it's like, man, it's how are you able to do all, right? And there's ways. When there's a will, there's a way, right?
Yeah.
I can't remember, man. Jog my memory. Do you have any kids?
Yeah, I have 2 kids.
2 kids.
Maddox and Mia.
Maddox and Mia. Okay. What's their ages again?
13 and almost 10.
Oh, wow. Okay. So they're still at the house. They're still oh, wow. So you got a girl that's getting into teenagehood. How do you feel about that?
You know, try not to think about it right now. I got a couple years left. So
how's the son?
But yeah, man, it takes. He's 13. He's into sports. He's both of them are good students, all that kind of stuff, man. They're great, both of them. Love them.
So the son is the eldest, is that right?
Yeah, he's 13.
Okay, and the daughter's 10. So okay, I thought you said the daughter was 13. So I was like, oh shoot, she's just
no.
So you got 3 years. You're good.
Yeah, totally.
Sweet. That's solid. Are there any of them?
But you've got your partner has got to be down. That's the biggest thing. Because it's hard. I definitely wouldn't be able to do this if it wasn't for my wife. With the kids and everything else. It's your spouse has to be down with it.
Dude, your spouse has to be down with the shits. If she's not, it's tough to say.
Yeah,
man.
it's not going to work. One or the other will not end up panning out for you.
It sucks. I mean, luckily I don't know anybody. Like, luckily I'm not close enough to anyone to where I see that, and I'm like, because I would tell them like, yo, man, you need to like, if you really love these animals, and you're fighting with your girl every night because you're in your snake room, and like, you know what I mean? Like that's I don't know.
Yeah.
I would tell them straight up like, yo, you need to pick. Like, if these snakes aren't for you, then fucking sell them and go be with your wife, and
right.
You go be a good husband, which you could do both. There's ways of doing both.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But to each their own. I'm in a position where I'm married the girl. I married the girl of my dreams, and she fucking never hassles me for shit. And it's because she knows my damn mission in life. So I'm not gonna say in all aspects. It's when I'm doing snake.
That's
stuff.
good.
Yeah, and when I'm doing snake stuff, she backs off. But sometimes otherwise, she's on my case for other things. But hey, she has to. That's how it is.
Same. It's the same.
I got to be tamed.
That's just, yeah.
Tiger has to be tamed,
That's right. Somebody's got to keep you in check.
Yeah, dude, at the end of the day, yes, 100%. And she's the only one who can really do it. So, Alabama, right? So our boy Marcial's from Alabama. Birmingham, is that right?
Live in Alabama. Yeah, live in Alabama now in Birmingham for the last 20 or so years. Actually, not that long. Maybe.
Damn, you're lagging pretty bad right now, my man. Like you lagged completely. Like he done just went off the Richter. Anybody in my comments, can you tell me if it's me or if it's Marcial? Anybody? Man, it is hot as shit in my room right now. Well, my pops in the building. What's up, pops? All right, me, sweet doc. So me, Alabama. Let me tell Marcial to log back in. Unless it's me. Is it me? Log back out and in. Man, I don't understand. Oh, no, he's froze. All right, so it's not me. That's cool. He logs back. He logged in. Man, you know what? It's like Alabama's like that area with Alabama, Louisiana, all that shit. Here he is. He's back. You're on your phone now?
Yeah, I changed my phone. Should be better.
It's all good. Not our first rodeo. We've had plenty of service or connection technical difficulties.
Yeah, it's weird, man. Like, internet here is usually not great, but ever since I'm working from home, my wife's working from home, the kids are both doing school shit, so it's like, the internet has fucking just pisses you off, when shit's not working right.
Yeah, everything's being used 100%. And then not only that, like there's fucking bandwidth, everything around you, everybody's home. So everyone's sucking internet from everything. It's like,
yeah.
It's
bullshit.
Bullshit. Fuck, dude. Do they have any news? Like, let's talk about a little COVID stuff real quick. Is there any news on when things are opening up in your area?
So we've been on for the month of April. We were on I think it was pretty much like a 24-hour curfew. Like only you could be out for essential activities, which was going to the store, going to the doctor. If you were considering, if your job was, on the essentials list, you go to work, but that's it. All restaurants have been closed, bars, most anything that's not a grocery store, drugstore pretty much was shut down for the month of April. And then here, 1st of May, they changed it to where places can open, but it's like, 50% occupancy or and only some things like restaurants are still curbside only, no bars. What else? Like no, like, hair barbershops or
No gyms.
no gyms. No, gyms still closed. So,
Oh,
and that's like officially for another 2 weeks, and then they'll reevaluate and decide what the next thing is going to be. How about you?
fuck, dude. I think Friday, tomorrow, is when they're supposed to have a shit back open again. I don't know if it's gyms. I have to check into that. But I know like barbershops and shit are opening. I don't know, Marshall. It's hard. I mean, the only thing I could see that's affected my world is, let's see. Well, yeah, certain sandwich shops that I would go to aren't open. That sucks. Yeah, that's basically it. Like I'm kind of a person who likes to stay at home. I love being at home.
That's good.
Yeah, it's I almost trained for this shit. Like I'm just like, fuck, dude, I have no mental issue with this. But I also have my wife who is used to traveling for work and going to work and like every day and like where she has to drive to, and she kind of she almost misses the commute and leaving the house. So I feel for her in a way, especially because we do a lot of dinner dates and shit that we can't do anymore. Well, we do,
right.
It's to go, and I'm sorry, dude, the fucking to go thing.
It's not the same.
It was her birthday, like what, April 21st was her birthday, and she really wanted Benihana's, and I was like, I don't know, man, like they cook that in front of you and it's bomb for a reason. And she's like, no, trust me. Like I was like, all right, fuck it. So spent over $100 for this Benihana's to go, and it was
terrible.
Yeah, I purposely ordered my meat like medium rare, so I could, even if I have to heat it up, like it's not
right.
It's fucking well done. I'm like, dude. And I bought expensive steak. And I'm like, you got to be shitting me. Like, this steak is ruined. I don't even want it no more. Like, it was chewy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, filet mignon should not be chewy. Like, it shouldn't be. It was heartbreaking. So I'll never do that.
That's some bullshit.
Yeah. It was some bullshit. But hey, it made my wife happy. That's what she wanted her birthday. Fuck, dude. I'm good. I'm not doing, I think sushi's okay, maybe. But even that, why would you want to test that? I don't know. Just eat at home. Save money. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
That's all I'm trying to get at. Save your money.
It's been, that's pretty much what we've been doing, just because it's all you can do,
Yeah, you know, choice.
My buddy owns a deli, and that's like I think that's the only food from home I think we've had in the last. That's not true. We picked up some stuff every now and then, but yeah, you're right. It's not the same, especially good food.
I would live at that deli. I loved it. I love sandwiches, dude. I'm such a sandwich guy, dude. Like I could literally fucking live off sandwiches. I could, if I could switch the bread up and like, do like, certain things. I don't know. Like if I owned a deli and like God was like, listen, here's this deli, but you can't fucking eat anywhere else. And I'll get you all the meat, all the shit you need, but this is where I'd be cool with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if that was that, case by case.
That's kind of the place that like my buddy owns. It's called the Diplomat Deli. I give him a shout out. Get to the dip.
To get to the dip. Diplomat. I'm gonna go to Alabama, man. I'm gonna check that out. What's the most popular spots, like Alabama wise? I laugh like that. But like, what's the most? What would you say if you were to go to Alabama? What's the spot to go to in Alabama?
Probably the beach.
The beach.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to go like like as far as like natural scenery, it's Birmingham's nice. North Alabama is more scenic. It's more hilly. We don't really have mountains, but we've got some foothills. And then the central Alabama is just flat and hot. Then when you start getting down south, you get kind of the same feel as like the Florida Panhandle, So you've got nice, but it's just a little strip at the bottom of the state. But you got some cool vegetation and cool animals and that kind of stuff. And then the beaches are really nice, actually. And then Birmingham, where I live, is the biggest city in Alabama. It's the only city I would live in Alabama. It's even though it's in Alabama, it's still got some big city kind of things about it as far as things to do, and we go see a lot of concerts. There's a lot of live good live bands come through town. So it's not bad, but most other places in Alabama are bad, in my opinion.
Are bad?
Are bad. Yeah, I couldn't live there.
Just because it's too rural, like two sticks and like fucking.
Yeah. It's just it's just not for me. I just put it that way.
How are the laws, like the reptile keeping laws and stuff?
We're pretty lax, actually. Well, pretty lax on you can keep anything that is non-native and non-venomous. So you can keep pretty much, pythons, boa, whatever, anything that's not native, non-venomous. And then but you cannot keep any exotic venomous, but you can keep native venomous. So you can have copperheads and, cottonmouths. We have canebrake rattlesnakes. We have pygmy rattlesnakes, coral snakes, and I think that's it. Yeah, we have 5 venomous species. And what's crazy is that any native venomous species, you don't even have to have a permit or anything. Anybody can have them.
Yeah, we have pretty strict laws here in California.
I'm sure.
I talk so much how I love San Diego, and I do, but all because of the food. Like I can't live without my 24-hour taco shops and stuff.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I am realizing that maybe going through fucking tax pays and shit like that we have to go through here. I don't know. I might be able to see myself in a different state sometime. Maybe someday with a family, but
yeah. San Diego sounds like a pretty nice spot,
Dude, weather-wise, it's perfect for breeding, dude. I'm telling you, it's like we have amazing tropical fucking weather here. It's
before we lived here in Birmingham, we moved here from Miami. We lived in Miami for 2 years before we moved here, and same thing. The weather was just perfect. Like I would just leave the windows open in snake room all the time.
Yeah, you're good. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. And, I've never been to Southern California, though. Never been to San Diego.
You got it, man. It's a beautiful ass city. I've had my fair. The only place I haven't been to city-wise that I feel like I need to go check out is Miami. I need to go to Miami.
Miami's the shit. I love it. My wife did not like it, which is why we don't live there anymore. But, it's cool. Traffic's really, really bad. And you pretty much have to speak Spanish, to just get around.
In Miami, you have to speak Spanish.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you don't have to, but if you don't want to live there and not speak Spanish,
Right.
Just because you can like walk into fucking Walmart and have trouble finding somebody that can speak English.
I'm gonna have to put somebody on blast right now because I'm gonna make a clear example on why San Diego is the best city in period. So here, hey guys, Bakersfield, one of the weirdest places to visit. There's nothing around. It's like the hills have eyes. Okay, so I'm not Shane, I love you, dude, but you stepped in some weird territory right now. So San Diego, why it's the best, dude? We have the best taco shops. We are 10 minutes. I'm 10 minutes from Tijuana border. So you have to understand how authentic every taco shop is from my surroundings to the border. And I'm talking, do you like seafood?
Me? Yeah, I love seafood.
Dude, so have you had mariscos before? Mexican seafood? It's called, so there's like ceviche and aguachile.
I've had ceviche.
Okay. So, dude, you'll have the best ceviche. I'm saying this right now. You'll have the best ceviche, all that kind of stuff, right here in Chula Vista, which is, or like kind of like basically the last city before hitting Tijuana. And then we have Rosarito and Puerto Nuevo, which, lobster on the beach, which is like 45 minutes away from here.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Puerto Nueva was like an hour and 15 minutes away from here. But dude, hands down, San Diego, if there's any city to live in, unless you have stupid money and you don't care about living in congested areas, then you could go to San Francisco. San Francisco's beautiful.
I've been there.
Yeah, but it's nuts. San Francisco is like it looks crammed. And like the streets are weird. But then
it's expensive as shit too.
It's super. If you think San Diego,
ridiculous,
it's fucking way more expensive than San Diego, dude. San Francisco is no joke, but also they have amazing ass food too. They have I had some amazing ass Chinese food up there because the culture is so diverse. They have every ethnicity up there. It's crazy. And you say California's like that in general, but like they've had it like that for years. Like that's been like the pioneer landing for like, any kind of like, what I forgot what I got put on game with like what I think it was the Vietnamese or Chinese, I think, that established there after it was like founded, or I forget. I don't know. I could be talking out of my ass. But
here the food is barbecue. So like you can go if you want like legit barbecue, it's some of the best for sure. There's probably 15 barbecue joints in town, or more than that. There's probably 50 barbecue joints in town. All of them a little bit different. Just kind of depends on what you like. So
how different is Alabama barbecue from like Texas barbecue?
It's a lot different. Texas barbecue is mainly beef, if I'm not mistaken, like brisket and
my shit.
But Alabama is pork. Pulled pork is kind of the the main deal.
I don't know, man. I'm such a beef guy over like, well, not so much now, but like I'm like if it came to ribs, like if I had a choice of ribs, I'm beef over pork all day. That's just my preference. I don't know why.
Yeah. I'm not a big rib guy. I always just get the barbecue, straight up. Some places here, like true Alabama barbecue is like mayonnaise based. So it's like it's not sweet. It's not like, it's kind of more salty than sweet.
I bet it's good, but I just can't imagine mayonnaise and barbecue. What the fuck?
It's not really, it's not like you got to not think of barbecue. It's like barbecue meat, but the sauce is completely different.
What color?
White.
The sauce is white?
Yeah.
It's
like mayonnaise with like a shitload of pepper and
on ribs?
No, not on ribs, on pulled pork. Which is just like chopped up pork.
And so that's white, shredded, chopped up pork.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to look into that. Never in my life have I seen that. And I'm a big barbecue guy, but I don't know about traditional Alabama barbecue because I don't know.
There's a YouTube video that I'll send you that you'll like. It'll teach you all about it, all the differences between each state.
Yeah, I would really like that because I'm a huge barbecue. I love barbecue, but I mean, is it super mayonnaise like tasty? Like, does it taste?
No, you don't even taste the mayonnaise. It's kind of like it's more tangy than mayonnaise-y.
Sounds legit. I mean,
I like it.
Yeah, you can't really find that like in a other place. I mean, where do you find that? Only in Alabama, I'm assuming, right?
It's an Alabama thing.
It's an Alabama thing.
And then some sauces are really sweet, which I don't like those that much. I kind of like the more vinegar based as opposed to, I guess, what would that be, like ketchup based, or would they have like a lot of sugar in the sauce? I don't like that.
What I like. I like that fat boy shit, dude. I like a lot of sauce on my ribs and shit. Like, my girl hates it, but yeah, I overdo it. That's for sure. All right, we've been talking a lot about food. Sorry to lose people here. So ball pythons, we were talking about that earlier. Pieds, clowns, ultra male. Let's get into it. Let's talk about the ultra males here, man. When did this when did you stumble across the upon the ultra male? How did you stumble across it? Did someone put you onto it? Did you see that?
I saw him at a show, it was Daytona, probably like, you know, early to mid 2000s. And I forget who it was even. Somebody had some, you know, babies. And I was like, holy shit, man. These things are freaking unbelievable. They really, to me, they really stood out. And I, you know, I wasn't about to drop whatever they were asking for them at the time. So I waited a couple years, and then finally, I think it was 2010 or 2011. I bought like 2.4 of them, I think.
Okay.
And then just, you know, started off with those, and you know, that's kind of what I built all the collection that I have now off of, was those 5. And then the clown stuff that I was talking to you about earlier.
Yeah.
And just kind of mixing those, you know, those two things, just because that's what I had a lot of. And those have always been my two, you know, favorite. More, I like pied stuff too. I haven't produced a bunch of pied stuff. I've produced, you know, a couple of clutches of just single gene pieds.
Okay.
But they were another morph that, like, you know, back when I first started seeing what people were doing, it was like, holy crap, man, those things are just fucking unbelievable looking. You know, like, I had no idea a snake could even look like that.
You're not kidding.
I remember walking around the Daytona show, and guys like, you know, Peter Call and, you know, Bob Clark, they had a shit, you know, I don't even know how many, you know, 30 pieds on their table, and they were priced at like, you know, 50 grand a piece or something. And I was like, what?
Yeah. Like, is that an accurate number? About 30 pies, you would say? 30 pies.
Yes.
You're not bullshitting, right?
No, I'm not bullshitting. And they were, you know, yeah, they might have been like 40 grand, but I mean, it was up there. It was crazy. It was unbelievable. Yeah. I didn't know, you know, I had no idea until that first, it was actually it was when the show was still in Orlando, which was way back. That was probably 98 or 99, something like that. So yeah, man. So I've had, you know, all kinds of, had albino stuff early on I talked about, and actually made a couple of albino clowns, because I mixed those two genes right away when I started. That was kind of the first double recessive that I hit. And so yeah, but then when I kind of narrowed things down to just the ultramel stuff, I ended up selling off that project, just because, you know, you can only do so much. You know, you can't unless you have, you know, the facility and the place. You just you got to focus in on whatever project you want to work with. You know, especially when you're talking about double and triple recessive stuff. You just need numbers. You know, if you're going to have just 1 or 2 pairs, it might take you 5 years to hit that snake that you're trying to hit, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have 4 or 5 females, then, you know, your odds go way up.
Yeah. Yep, I agree. Now, as far as your ultramil projects and whatnot, you have ultramil clowns that are out. What's your plan with combos with that? What are you looking to do?
So this year, like, I could make this. This is all, like, you know, obviously theoretical at this point, but the pairings that I've produced, I could hit a inchy yellow belly ultra clown. I could hit like a pewter, a sterling, super pastel, ultra clown. What else? So those are the combos that I'm working on for this year. And then I've got a shitload. I say a shitload. To me, it's a shitload. You know, 15 or 20 different visual and
that's a lot
combo females that I'm raising up. You know, that I produced all myself.
15 different combos, you're saying?
Yeah, like, you know, like super. I'm sorry. Yeah, super pastel double het ultra clown, or
Wild.
pastel leopard double het ultra clown, or some visual ultra that's either maybe leopard or inchy, or just I got a bunch of females that are coming up. So so I was talking about earlier, looking at having to look at normal looking snakes a lot. I've finally because the way I've kind of cycled through things, every year the baby ones, those are going to be your nicest snakes, right? That particular year's babies. So you kind of raise them up, and then every year, unless you just want to keep growing, I've kind of narrowed it down to like, all right, I can take care of this much shit in the amount of time that I have. So every year, as my females are getting bigger, I have one ARS, like CB set. I think it's a 70-30, and then I have an ARS 50-40. So those are kind of like my two main racks for adults and subadults. And every year I've got big females that need to be moved into the ARS 70-30. So I'll sell off something and replace it. So that means just every year, obviously your stuff's getting nicer and nicer.
Right. So are you kind of like, as your holdbacks are coming and growing, are you getting rid of breeder females, or are you kind of like
I do that. Like I kind of decide what I'm going to get rid of, and then after they lay, I'll let them eat a few meals and then sell them.
Cool.
Put them up for sale.
All your stuff is majority on Morph Market, because you don't really have a business page, do you, on Instagram?
Yeah, no, it's all 100% on Morph Market, and Facebook, and I'll have some people contact me through Facebook or Instagram. But yeah, for ball pythons, 100% Morph Market.
Morph Market legit.
I kind of feel like Morph Market was, somewhat of a game changer for ball pythons, really, because now you can pinpoint exactly what you're looking for. There's just so much out there. The way they've been able to, where you can refine your search to, out of however many fucking ball pythons they have on there, filter it down to the 10 that you're looking for. That's pretty unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's been a game changer for sure, I think.
I thought one of the biggest things about Morph Market that I was like, holy shit, this is so awesome, was when you would go to their calculator and try to calculate what you'd want to make. And then it would show you all the snakes that are either already made like that, or is like whatever those genetics you're looking for. Like it was nuts. And it was like, oh man, it just made it so easy to just fucking spend over $1,000. You know what I mean? It was so quick.
Totally.
It was like, fuck, oh shit, how that happened. But in the sense when you're breeding and you're selling, man, my animal sold pretty quick. I mean, I just got rid of my last ball python I had available from last year, like over a month ago. But yeah, dude, they fucking went pretty well. Honestly, to be honest, a lot of them sold quick on Instagram. But then I also, like, the ones that didn't sell so quickly on Instagram sold just as quickly on Morph Market.
Yeah. So, Morph Market's been awesome. I haven't sold a bunch of stuff off Instagram, mainly because my Instagram is, most people aren't coming to my Instagram to look at the ball pythons. They're coming and look at the chondros or the emeralds, and
not after this episode.
I get so many people that's what they want, and I have so few available all the time that it's I hate it. Like, I wish I could ramp up chondro production by like 10. That'd be fucking awesome. I feel like I could sell every one of them. But that's just not how it works, unfortunately.
So your chondros go a lot quicker than the ball pythons, is what you're saying?
The ball pythons, I have maybe like 3 or 4 snakes left from last year that I haven't sold, that that are for sale right now. So, I mean, they go pretty quick. But yeah, the chondros, the past few years I've had really small clutches, and maybe, I don't know, it's been a 6 or 7 years ago now, I kind of sold off everything but my nicest chondros, and so I've had a bunch of empty cages, and so I've been holding back pretty much everything for the last couple years, so
dude, 2 or 3 more years, you're gonna see the fuck. You'll be shaking hands with yourself. I'm like, yep.
Hopefully, that's the plan. So
It's always the plan, and there's always
you gotta have a plan, right?
You gotta have plans with an S.
Yeah, A, B.
You gotta
escape plan.
You have multiple plans. Options are always good. You need to, just fucking, you never know. Especially with like we were talking earlier, keeping animals. You just never know. Like, have plans. Just have plan for a plan for a plan.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to do it.
Yeah. So let's kind of talk a little bit more as far as you talked about where you're going to go with the ultra combos, ultra clown combos. Is there anything else out there that you're working with that we don't know about, or is there anything else that you're pretty vested in that's like you're excited that you maybe want to talk about now?
I mean, it's all stuff that's related. I mean, my eventual goal is to have all these racks filled with snakes that are at least double het for ultra clown. So that way, everything I've got, I can just plug and play. That's the goal. That's the goal. I'm not there yet. It'll take a couple more years. But so just this past year, I picked up some pretty cool stuff, just some genes that I didn't have before. Like I didn't have, for example, blackhead. So I picked up it's a super blackhead, yellow belly, fire, red gene. It's a fucking crazy looking snake. Well, I'll show her to you in a little while. Picked that up, and then I picked up a confusion spot nose, which I didn't have in the collection. Confusion spot nose. I think she's a possible het clown. Picked up a super gravel because I've got a bunch of ultra or yellow belly het ultra females that I've been raising up. So I can just take that male, breed him to an ultra female next year. Just hopefully get, a nice, get a nice male gravel het ultra, then put him to all those yellow belly het ultras.
And just make a shit ton of sick world's first, basically.
I don't know if anybody, I feel like somebody has I don't think anyone's made it yet, but I think from like pictures that I've seen of people's stuff, I think somebody might make like a highway or freeway ultra this year, maybe.
We'll see. But it's crazy you say that because, dude, there's things that pop up out of nowhere and you're like, whoa, what? That was made, and it comes from like Europe or some shit or Indonesia.
Right.
Like,
right.
It's fucking crazy how that happens. It's kind of frustrating too, because it's like, what? It's like all of a sudden this thing just pops up, and it's like an adult and shit. It's like weird. It's like, I don't know how that could be, but you never know with shit, man. You really don't. Yeah,
that's where besides the ones that we have here, there's been an albino chondro that popped up in it was in Thailand or something back in the day. And weird story about it. It got smuggled into Australia, is the rumor, and confiscated by the authorities and died.
Wait, what snake was this again?
This was an albino green tree python that was in Thailand. So there was a guy, he posted it on the chondro forums and on Facebook and whatever, and it was a legit albino, but it was in Thailand, and apparently somebody hit him up, or it ended up in Australia somehow, and it got confiscated and died, which is terrible.
Now that we're on the subject of albinos, let's talk about your albino chondros real quick.
Okay. Yeah, I don't.
How's it feel to own those, dude?
Well, I don't have one. I have a bunch of hets and possible hets now.
Oh, okay. Is that what you have? Okay. I mean, I just know that everyone keeps asking me to talk about your albinos and talk about your albinos. So,
yeah, I've produced a bunch of them. I've produced about I think 4 or 5 maybe. But I only have had one that I've been able to get established, as a baby that's lived for longer than a couple of months. And the one that did survive, she lived to be 2 years old, and then had some kind of weird intestinal blockage or something.
After
And
2 years?
yeah, 2 years old, and
Terrible.
did surgery and all that, and then she just didn't recover from it. So, that's part of the heartbreak, like you were talking about earlier. I've been working on that project for, fucking since 2002. So how long is that?
18 years, my friend.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
The only one doing it too. Am I right?
No, there's a guy that's posted a few photos here recently that's in Europe that has an adult
in America.
In America, as far as I know, yeah. The only other person that I know the only other ones that I know even exist is this guy in Europe somewhere. And Pedro and I were texting back and forth about him a couple of weeks ago, and apparently they have mutual friends in common. So we think it's legit, which is awesome. It's an adult male, and it looks kind of like a canary chondro, but it's got red eyes.
So it does have red eyes.
Yeah, it's got red eyes,
dude. So you have had. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say the guys posted some photos. They're kind of like teaser photos. They're not like, if you really want to show this snake is albino, like you get out your fucking nice camera and you take some nice pictures of it, right? Like you don't put you don't put like the iPhone 2 picture of the albino chondro. Anyway, that's kind of what's out there, is like they're just, they're not the best pictures. They're just kind of teaser pics, I feel like, but you can tell that they're legit.
Who are they being fucking bred in like some like secret fucking? Are they in a country where it's illegal and they have to be secretive, or like it's
I don't know. I don't know where they are, other than they're in Europe.
Dude, fly over there. Let's go. Come on,
Pedro's going to get it figured out, and then we'll see what's up.
Dude, sometimes you just got to get the work done yourself, bro. Pedro may have too much going on. I love my boy Pedro. Pedro's awesome. Pedro's fucking, that guy's so passionate about his shit, and he's real about it too, man. He's a character, dude.
He is. Yeah, I like Pedro.
He's a good person to know, and happy to know that guy because of what we've been doing on the podcast and stuff. So,
how are your chondro eggs doing?
Man, doing good. So tomorrow's candling. So I candle them once a week, right? I mean, that's kind of what I've just been doing.
Yeah.
And they're fucking looking awesome, man. I don't even want to say they're looking awesome. Like, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but they look great. The development and the veins are getting more thick, and it's like, it's happening, dude. So we're just, like you said, we're in the next phase of getting them to hatch, and then the real phase start to happen where we're getting them dialed in, and in that part. But you know what, man, it's going better than it did last year and the year before.
That's good.
Yeah, and that's all that matters, man. Look, if I get 1 out of the 14, I'll be happy, because that's what I got last year, and I just want to be able to at least hatch something. But it's looking pretty good right now. So
that's good. Yeah, I'm sure. Most of the time when you get viable eggs, I would say 80% of them hatch. So you're in a good spot.
So let's talk about real quick that so not all of them were laid, as good as as most of them were. So luckily Pedro came through, and I was trying to like dial in, when she would be laying after her pre-lay shed. I talked to John Irby. John Irby was like, hey, yeah, you should go off her ovulation day. And then I have others. I don't know if Ian Bessel told me, but somebody else was like, no, well, I go off the pre-lay shed day. And I'm like, fuck. So I was kind of managing both days. And then I went to Pedro, and Pedro's like, man, just get rid of that water bowl, put this little tiny dish in there, and you'll be fine. And as soon as I did that, the next day she laid 3 eggs directly in that fucking 3 ounce.
Oh, shit. Oh no.
I was like, are you kidding me? So luckily it was there. I think she had drank a lot of water, because there was not much water in there, but the bottom of the eggs were kind of wet, right? So I took
How are
them
those
out.
doing?
Dude, I mean, they're kind of like they're getting moldy a little bit, but they're still showing veins. Ever since I put the glue and the fucking foot fungal on there, it stopped spreading. So I mean, I had an egg hatch last year that looked 10 times worse than these eggs look. So I'm just like, fuck, I don't know. I'm just,
Yeah, it's crazy how the fucking glue works, you know?
it really does. And then honestly, just leaving them alone. If you have temps right and everything's good, the humidity's good, I almost don't even want to check the veins. I just want to say fucking just leave them alone. Like I just don't even want
I leave them alone, man. I put them in the incubator and I don't look at them. I mean, I look at them.
I look at temps.
Yeah, like I have a thermometer in mine. Mine has I have a glass door on it, and but I'll open the egg box like maybe once every 2 weeks and just stick your nose in there and smell. And if it doesn't smell bad, just fucking close it and leave them alone.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, that's I have three the 3 eggs that went into that fucking little deli cup are in a separate egg box too. So I don't have those even associated with the other 11.
Right. That's good.
So those are going good. And then I just saw that my sarong just ovulated too. So might have 2 chondro clutches this year. I don't know. We'll see.
That'd be awesome.
This is the dream, dude. I'm telling you right now, man. I went to before I could even have my first ball python clutch, and ball pythons are the biggest reason why I got into this. Before I could even get into my first ball python clutch, I had the vision and dreams of hatching a chondro, and that was 2017, late 2016. Got my first chondro in late 2016. Couldn't believe how yellow it was because the guy told me it was over a years old, and I did all this research, and I saw that a lot of snakes turn green after the first year, or you see a lot of green, and this is the snake. See, that's Mimi. See her?
I see her.
Yep, that's her, dude. This is the snake that laid for me, and she was this is about a year ago, and she was so she's about 4 years old right here in this pic. So that's her. That's my badass fucking. And that's a girl. Anyway, so I got this snake, and all I wanted to do, I started researching and looking at people who've hatched chondros successfully, and there wasn't as many people as ball python people. Like that's when I was like, oh, it's like it's a different community. Like it's a vibe. Like there's not too many of the both out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's one thing. I was like, well, fuck, why do you have to pick? I could keep the passion I have for ball pythons, which I'll never get rid of my ball pythons. I'm like you. I mean, I won't. I'm in it for a reason, and I love seeing them. I like doing what I'm doing with them. But then I carry this different kind of passion for chondros because it's almost like a sacred project. It's a sacred species to work with in a sense because it's
right.
like you're fucking. If you're into Vegas odds, then fucking get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Basically.
I mean, they're just harder to deal with, like we were talking about earlier. That's just you got to really like them.
I was born and raised a Raider fan in San Diego. You know how difficult that is? But I liked it. I enjoyed it. I liked how difficult it was to fucking argue why I was a Raider fan because I did everything my dad loved. Even though my dad was from San Diego too, he loved Raiders and Dodgers. So over here, people take that personal if you're from San Diego. If you're not from San Diego, then why you here? It's like, dude, chill the fuck. And it's almost the same people who are now bitching about the country. And I'm like, yo, why the fuck are you in the country? Get the fuck out of here. I don't know. Anyways, but I'm true to what I love. I don't give a shit. And even if there's a group of people who's like, oh, well, you're not going to be successful, or no, all this bad stuff happens, I don't really pay attention to that. If anything, it fuels me. It makes me want to do it more. Because if it's something that not a lot of people are doing, well then fuck, I want to do it. I'm down.
Right. If everybody, it'd be easy. If everybody, everybody did it, everybody be doing it. Exactly.
So
but it's definitely a different crowd. Different community. Not saying one's better or than the other, but they're definitely different.
Dude, chondro, I mean, look, shout out to my loyal chondro dudes, like the ones who I mean, I'm not gonna say they all matter, but like Patrick Holmes, he has my back. I'm not really worried about anything, to be honest. But there's also like a good handful of other chondro people out there that are fucking sick as shit. Pedro, obviously, but like there's a different smell in the air in the chondro community, dude. If you're in the ball python, and it's same with ball python people too. I mean, everything has its goods and everything has its fucking like weird.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? And it's all it's all what you're looking for. I think if you're looking for the right stuff, you'll find the right stuff, and that's what I've been doing lately, and it's been working. I just concentrate on like Facebook groups don't help me. I don't know. I try to stay away from the Facebook groups because I look too much into like. I'm really anti-bioactive for chondros, especially a neonate. Like, I don't think, look, if you want to do it, that's awesome. But like people who want to have like a room full of bioactive chondros, really, like, you think that's, I don't know. I just feel like that's not really given the best environment for that animal. Like, you're probably gonna kill a shit ton of chondros until you figure it out.
Right. I mean, there is a way to do it, I'm sure, but it's not figured out yet, and it's harder. So that's just kind of depends what your MO is, if that's what if that's what your goal is, that you just want to have them in a naturalistic setup, then, try it out, man, but there's going to probably come some bad things with that, depending. Yeah.
Especially if you're posting it a lot.
I mean, you got to admit though, a bioactive enclosure with a nice chondro or emerald in it, I mean, that's like the fucking pinnacle. That's like the coolest thing you could possibly have.
Until you see mites. Now what?
Well, you just got to like, knock on wood. I've never had to deal with mites. So
you don't have plants and shit. It's not in a like if you put that thing around live plants, I don't know. I just feel like it's more.
Nah, you'll never get snake mites if you don't bring them into your collection on another snake or like on your clothes or whatever. Just if you don't have them, they don't just pop up, So,
man, I don't know how it's happened. Maybe it's from the import, and just opening the box. But I've literally had mites just pop up on a chondro and this is a chondro. I've had mites pop up on me before, and I don't know what's happened. I don't know why, and it's been a long time, but I've had mites just fucking pop up on her before, for sure.
She either had them when she came when you got her, or she got them from somewhere else. That's the only possible like if you had a closed collection, you would never get mites.
Bringing shit in. Shit's airborne, right? So it's gonna fly.
No, they're not. No, mites can't fly.
I thought they could travel or some shit. I heard like they
can travel. Like you could like get them, like I hate going into like pet shops, or like I don't like go to other people's collections and then come back into my room until I go take a shower. Like, because you could bring them on your clothes, or you could bring them on your shoes, or you could, they could hitch a ride on you into your room. But if you just buy plants from like Home Depot or whatever, you'll never get them. You'll never get snake mites.
Can't fly. That's not what I meant to say. I meant travel, just so you guys know.
They can travel. They can travel, but they cannot fly.
They're not on a fucking jet, 757 jet, and fucking hitting your next tub. What do you think about mites coming in substrate, like cocoa block and shit like that? Like,
I've been using Reptile for, I don't know, a couple years now, and I've never seen them. I've never heard of it coming in from them. Now, I could see possibly if Reptile or substrate was on a pet store shelf, and they have a couple of tanks with, snakes that have mites on them, maybe you could get it that way. But if you buy it from the source, like I don't know. I'm just never really worried about it. And definitely hadn't seen any problems. That's like one of my biggest nightmares. Like if I ever got mites, it might make me like get out of the hobby, like just having to deal with getting mites out of this, this many fucking tubs.
It's terrible.
Oh my God, I can't even imagine.
This is the biggest reason why I created a different, like I have my arboreal room. I have all my emeralds and chondros are in their own little room now. Because I never wanted this snake to ever get mites again. I kept mind fucking myself. Like, why did she get mites? Why did she get mites? Because at that time I had over 100 fucking snakes, and everything got treated in that room, and it sucked. I remember not fucking having much sleep. I fucking literally ate myself to fucking live, because at that time, like, you know what I mean? Like, it does happen. Like, don't fuck, if anyone got mites out there, don't kill yourself. Just make sure you're definitely on top of yourself, and make sure you have protocol to do it and fix it.
Yeah.
And make sure you don't repeat it, because you could take care of it, especially if you're quarantined and you're not fucking bringing shit in.
Right.
I tell you what, I did do a lot of open boxings and shit inside my snake trap. And I would quarantine inside the house. But just by unboxing, you never know. You just don't know. So
you're exposing yourself to stuff for sure.
Exactly. So that being said, I just fucking cut, because that could put a lot of stress. I mean, if you're already busting your ass taking care of these snakes on a day to day, dude, you don't want to have to fucking deal with mites. I'm telling you.
That'd be
everything needs to get treated. Everything needs to get gutted. Everything's fucking, and it's a head to toe thing, dude, and it really wears you out.
I can imagine, especially I mean, I could see it being manageable, if you had a small collection, but if you have anything of size, it'd be fucking just terrible. I can't imagine.
20, and it's just it's gonna suck a lot of your day. You need a whole space for. I mean, it's either way. Let's not talk about the devil. What about nidovirus? Have you had to deal with any nido shit or anything like that with your chondros? Or
I haven't. That I know of, I've had about the animals that I have now, I've tested pretty much everything except for 2019 babies, and have been. I've only tested them one time, but everything's been negative so far.
Attaboy.
So, I'm not having stuff, with the symptoms of nidovirus. So, but that is kind of why I haven't bought any new snakes in the last couple of years, chondros, because I've been, a little just sketched out about the potential of bringing it in, because you could quarantine for, a couple months and them still be asymptomatic, but have it.
Listen, I just want to say, Marcial, I hope I didn't shoot myself in the foot. But if I ever make the most ideal chondro that you love, don't think that the fucking thing has mites. I'll give it to you. Okay? I don't want that to stop you. Because I know that you follow me now. And if I happen to fucking hit a legendary chondro, like something that has your name on it, please, it would be an honor. Now,
yeah.
Okay.
I hope you do. I hope you hit it.
All right.
I hope you hit it.
Now, let me ask you this: if you know anything about localities, or you just kind of I just go.
I know a little bit. I mean, I know the main ones. I'm not I couldn't name all of the new subspecies because there's 4 now. Or no, I think there might even be 4. I don't know if it's 4 subspecies or 4 actual species of chondros.
Give me an idea about the subspecies. What would be a subspecies?
So they're where you find green tree pythons in Indonesia, New Guinea, particularly on the Big Island. It's separated by a mountain chain that kind of runs horizontally across the middle of it, and the northern part of that is Wamena, Cyclops are on the northern side, and then on the southern side you have Arus and Marukis, and they're pretty much have now been divided into separate species. There's enough DNA difference or whatever that enough to classify them as different species. So, but I think it's mainly because they're geographically isolated, kind of an Aru Island or a Biox all kind of look the same because they're from, the same island, kind of like canaries or Kofi owls were. There's a lot of insular populations. What's really cool to think about is that, New Guinea is not open to export. But they have a bunch of, chondros occur there. And I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's been some studies on it. I'm not really up on the latest science, but there's got to be, I would think, all kinds of localities and just populations that we don't even know exist that are from places in New Guinea.
Oh my God, they're holding out for sure. Oh yeah, 100%. And that's why I'm I hope laws don't get more strict, because the more strict it gets, the more less we'll ever know. You know what I mean?
That's true.
So I don't know. It's pretty nuts. I had somebody ask a question. He's a day oneer. He's been a big part of the support team of the podcast and what. He had a good question establishing chondro neonates and whatnot. Do you have a protocol or something you stick to every time you have chondros hatch out of an egg? Like you
Yeah.
keep them all together until first. Like, can you kind of just give us your step by step after the
Sure.
chondros emerge out of the egg?
Yeah, they come out of the egg, and then I'll keep them set up in the same box for, as they come out over the course of usually 3 or 4 days. As they fully emerge from the egg, I'll just get them out, put them in the box together, which will be, it'll probably have a 1/4 inch of water in the bottom, and then I'll just mist the hell out of them, just to kind of get the get the egg slime off of them, and then once they're all out, I'll kind of spray them down and let them, because at night they're usually pretty active. They'll crawl around in the water and kind of just clean themselves off, and then after that, maybe after like a couple days, then I'll set them up in their own separate boxes. And
after they shed, right? Or just a couple days?
No, just a couple days. I don't leave them together. I've actually seen photos of a friend of mine. He's not into chondros anymore, but he actually had one eat the other when they were he hatched a clutch and had kept them all together before the first shed, and one actually ended up eating the other one, and they both died.
That's wild.
Yeah,
they both died.
That's the only time I've ever heard about that happening, but he had photos and everything, so it was definitely legit.
Good. Rather eliminate that fucking.
Yeah, so I'll separate them, and then as far as feeding them goes, now I pretty much use chick scent automatically when they come out of the egg. So I wait until they shed for the first time, and then after they have their first shed, then I'll hit them with a hot thawed out pinky with like a little bit of chick down stuck on its nose. And 75% of them, I would say, will eat on the first time. Normally, I try that at night. And then the other ones that don't eat, the next time I'll try them during the day. And sometimes you'll have better luck. You kind of have to read the neonate. So sometimes, like some of them, when they're out hunting, they don't get scared when you give them the pinky on tongs, and they'll grab it. Other ones like freak out and they run. They just want to get away. But if you hit them with it when they're asleep and they're not like alert, and you tease them with it, they'll fucking grab it. It's crazy. So I try the night first, then try day, and then after that, I'll just, if they the ones that still haven't eaten, I'll just keep trying them different times. Chick scent, no chick scent. And then after probably, I don't know, you just kind of have to read the animal depending on how, how underweight they look, how much yolk sac they absorbed when they hatched. And just kind of, you can kind of tell when the animal's, needs food. And then I'll assist feed. And I use, a lot of people use pink heads. Yeah. I've never had much luck with that. So I tend to use a whole, like just the smallest pinky I can find, and then force feed them or assist feed them. Some of them you just have to get it in their mouth, and then they do the rest. Like yeah. Other ones you actually have to like fucking physically shove it in.
At what point do you do that? Like at one point you're like, okay,
that's a last resort.
Weight though is what I'm saying. It's like at what
how much do they weigh? I don't know. I don't really weigh anything. It's kind of just like vibe.
No, I'm sorry. How much do you have to wait until you're like deciding you have to force feed a neonate?
Well, you can, like I was saying, you just have to wait, like kind of just read the animal, some of them, there's not like a set amount of time, because, some neonates come out and they've fully absorbed their yolk. And they could weigh, 15, 16, 17 grams. But you could also have some that didn't absorb the yolk, and they could come out at, 10 grams. And so it's, that decision point happens a lot sooner than the ones that come out of the egg and are healthy, to begin with. So it just kind of depends.
I'm glad you said that, because I was always, okay, I have to wait 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and if there isn't, it's really reading the damn animal. Every animal is different size wise and everything like that, especially nutrients and what it needs. It's a different case by case. So
yeah,
I'm definitely not gonna go by numbers no more. That's for sure.
I mean, it's definitely several weeks before at the earliest. Usually, I would say probably a month to 6 weeks before I say, all right, like this animal, if I don't do something, it's definitely going to die. It's probably going to die anyway, but it's got a 30% chance if I intervene right now. So.
I went 1 for 14 yesterday, or not yesterday. I went 1 for 14 last year on my very first chondro clutch.
Hatchlings or established hatchlings?
Established neonate, like fucking made it through. Fucking
right, but they hatched 14 and only one made it.
Yeah, 14 hit the ground, and then actually 3. It came down to just 3 on day 52. It was 3. One was rotten like yolk. Like it was like I cut it and it was like cooked yolk. It was like solid yolk. It was disgusting and it smelled really bad. The second one, a full, it was fucking fully
perfect baby, just dead.
Perfect fucking baby, just head down in the yolk and died. Couldn't get guessing cut it out. And then the little named Little Chapo, a little red fucking beautiful red neonate fucking, he popped his head out, but he was so tiny. I didn't weigh him, but he was the tiniest fucking snake I've ever seen in my entire life. Probably the size of a quarter when he was perched. I'm not even joking. He was that tiny. Took on his very first offer. I couldn't believe. I was ready to have to maybe force feed and do all that horrible shit because how small he was. But no, dude, took on the fucking first hit and kept taking meals. And then unfortunately I got a fucking knee surgery and I had, at that time it was hot and I had certain protocols on how to keep the room fucking cool. My fucking keeper fucked up one day and sure enough he put
all it takes.
Dude, all he did was put him he was at the very low end of the rack where the temps were exactly where needed. And he ended up putting him at the very top. And I was like, and I remember went in on my crutches. I just wanted to check in on everything. And I was like, yo, where's fucking Chapo? He's like, oh, I put him up top. And I was like, and as soon as he said that, my heart dropped. I was like, no, it's too hot up there. And he was rolled out. He was fucking dead. And dude, honestly, I was so happy on how far I got with him. I was like, dude, I can't believe I saved his egg. He's in the freezer. I still fucking dude, all that shit did was motivate me, dude. And this could be my redemption year. Hopefully we'll see, but I didn't let it break me down. I didn't even, I don't know. Normally in the past, I took losses pretty bad, especially animals. I remember one of the worst losses I took was, I got into, scrub pythons pretty big. Right. And my very first, scrub python, I spent pretty good money on, it escaped and it was missing for I think it missed it was gone for 5 months. And I was like, man,
shit.
Yeah. And my room was so locked in and I knew it didn't get out. And I was like, did it get up to the attic? I had a little attic area, but it was so tiny. Luckily, my neighbor's a small guy. I invited him over, gave him a few beers. And I was like, hey man, you want to do me a favor? I was like, I'm going to give you this boost. And I just want you to poke your head up there. Let me know if you see me, dude. And he was like, yeah, he was totally cool with it. He's like, yeah, sure. And fucking, eventually he fully went up there. Fucking poor guy, got shit all over him, but he found it, dude. And it was fucking crisp.
Really?
It was as crisp as a piece of bacon, dude. It was dead as a
no.
Yeah, it was dead as shit. And oh man, I don't know. But dude, that was the kind of, and I had made a new rack and the tub it was in, it just, I saw that it had a place to get out and I didn't fucking check it and I had to learn the hard way, and shit like that. And yeah, it sucked. It was terrible. You know what I mean? But I remember
I almost had that happen to me a couple of weeks ago. I got these Transpicos rat snakes and baby colubrids. And hell, I've never had baby colubrids. So I just stuck them in one of my racks that I have here. And I'm sitting there 15 minutes later. I'm like, holy fuck, he's crawling on the shelf.
Yeah.
Thank God I was here to catch it. Otherwise he would have been, he'd been gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, some racks, you gotta roll any little crack, they're gone.
Or some, even some species, you got to be careful. I was new to scrubs. Scrubs are fucking, they're escape artists. they'll push their way until like they can find a way out, and you give them any kind of little crack or anything, they're gone.
Yeah, that's it, gone.
And they're not one to chill. Like they pretty much move. They keep it moving. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and I had, that was in my time where I was just barely dipping into new species. I was majority just ball pythons, and then I was getting into newer stuff. And I think I told you on an episode, or I was just getting. I had over 10 species at one point, and it just stopped getting fun because I was losing shit. And the first 4 mangroves I ever got died on me like within a week. And I was like, what the fuck is happening? Like, why? I was like, I never have to deal with this with ball pythons. Like, and honestly, like, my heart's a little stronger now. I can handle seeing a dead animal. But back then, dude, I didn't like seeing a dead snake. Especially
it sucks.
No, especially if it was something I bought. Like, I took it personal. You know what I mean? And, and what's crazy is, like, I didn't even really get mad at the person I was buying it from because he was always making it right. But then it just made me it made me want to accept more challenges than what I had. Like, I love ball pythons, but it wasn't enough. It's not enough. Like, it's just like, don't get me wrong. Hatching something that I dream about hatching, like, combo wise, that's always going to be enough. But I'm talking about like establishment wise, fucking the road, the journey. Like, I'm a guy who loves the journey. Like, I like fucking going through the shits and then the reward at the end. They always say the journey is the reward, like, and I learned that in the fitness industry, and I've lost 60 pounds and felt that kind of journey, and it's fucking amazing. And the thing is, it's almost, I don't know, it's different. Like I said, I look at a chondros and I'm like, okay, this is difficult for a lot of people to do. I'm all in on it. You know what I mean? Just because it's difficult. It's weird. I don't know. But then it's also look at it as like, I mean, these animals are goddamn so beautiful. The first time I ever saw a chondro, I was 6 years old in one of those zoo books. What was it called? The zoo book? Or it was these books coming out in libraries all the time as a kid. And they were like these, the Zoo Magazine. That's what I'm talking about, Zoo Magazine. And I would always see fucking these kind of snakes in the jungle. And I just thought, I was like, I could never own a snake like that. That's my favorite snake, but I could never own a snake like that. And now, you know what I mean?
And then you get online and it's like, holy shit.
Oh,
you can buy one for $300,
It's so feasible now. Yeah. So, real quick. So what do you got to show the listeners, man? You got anything to floss on us real quick? I mean, I see some cool, I see a basin right there up in my little sister, or not my little, sorry, I thought my little sister was in the building. She's obsessed with basins, but I see you got some stuff right there behind you in your left corner.
Yeah, you want to check it out?
Yeah, what do you got? What do you got to show the people real quick? I want to give some to my listeners and to I guess to my viewers. I hope you disconnected. Hopefully come back on. But yo, this guy's about to show some high quality stuff. Let's get some viewers in here, man. Get some people up in this bitch. We only got 31 viewers. This is fucking Marcial Mendez in the building. So he's about to show some sick shit. Put some stuff in your stories. Let's get some viewers up in here. Let's see what he's doing. Maybe he can't. Maybe he's having a problem with his camera. But still, let's tell some people about this. Let's go. You there?
Let's see. Let me try to get my camera flipped here.
Oh. Whoop. We'll make it happen. Hey, you guys like my hat though? Ooh, Jason, I got you, dog. I know. Hey, I know you're a hat guy. Jason cuts some really, really fine hair too. Shout out to my boy Jason. Jared in the building? Where's Jared? Jared Smith. What's up, Jared? How you like your shirt, bro? Your shirt fitting all right?
Do this with the front camera, so we'll see if see how it works. So I won't be able to see. So yeah, this is the.
Oh yeah, that looks good. You're good.
That's a female.
I'm gonna just put you on the camera so we can see it better. Okay, so don't worry, you're still live.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry. Hold on. Wait, hold on.
Yeah, so that's a female Ed Marino diamond line basin, and then this one up here is the Steve Volk female. So that's the one I was talking about earlier that has kind of the more textbook pattern. So she's nice. And then I've got a male. This one also is a Steve Volk. Not sure if you can see him there. That's a Steve Volk male. So, can you hear me okay? Okay.
Yeah, we
So
can.
this. Okay,
Yeah,
cool. So this is these are some chondros that I've got. This one right here in the front is Versace. And
wow. Legendary chondro guys we're looking at right now. Versace is by far legendary as shit. Keep going. I'm sorry, I just had to say that.
Yeah. He'll be 18 years old this year and still going strong, breeding and eating healthy. You know, he's 100% het for albino. And then the snake next to him is a daughter of his that was a 2013 is when I hatched her. So she was a sibling to one of the albinos I've produced in the past. So she's a 66% possible het. And hopefully they'll go this year. We'll see. It's kind of getting a little bit late, but you never know.
Oh my God.
This is a nice female here.
You're on a roll, my man. Keep it up.
So that is a Versace Tiger Stripe 2016 animal. She is a 50% possible het. So the cool thing about the albino line, at least the one that I'm working with, is that, you know, regardless of whether the animals are het or not, they're just really nice looking. And this is one of them. So I'll show you a couple that are siblings to each other, and you can kind of get a feel for just the different looks that you can get out of one clutch. So you see her, and she's basically, I don't know how it's showing up in the camera, but she's kind of a bluish green with, you know, quite a bit of black on her. And then this is her sister. And she, you know, obviously has a lot more yellow. She's kept some of the baby pattern. So that's a 50% possible het female. And then this one as well is one of her siblings. Probably bite me, but
oh my God, that is flossing. How old is that?
This is a 2016, so she'll be 4 this year. There she is.
Oh shit.
And then let's see. So this is a female that I'm waiting on eggs from right now. She's let's see. Yeah, sorry about that. She's about to go into prelay shed. This is a tiger stripe female, and she was bred by a calico male. And she is she's ovulated, and she's obviously really uncomfortable. So I'm hoping that she's got a bunch of eggs, but we'll see. Show you some of these guys. So this is a cross basin that I produced. This is 75% northern, 25% basin. Female.
God, bro. Steven's gonna be so mad at me.
She is what did I say? Yeah, 2016. And then just so you can kind of get an idea, this is, well, first off, this is the only one cross that I've ever produced that has any semblance of a stripe. So you can kind of see how she's got, you know, it's not a stripe, a full stripe, but it's got, you know, a lot of, she's got a lot of white in between the crossbars right down the dorsal. Most of the time you don't see the striping in the crosses. This is a male. He's pretty cool. 50-50 cross. And then this animal down here, she's awake. So let's see what she wants to do. This is the one that I just showed you. This is her sister. And whoop. She is hungry, obviously.
Yeah, she's ready to rock.
And then let's see what else. This one, so like this girl, I have to keep a lock on her cage because she can push it open. It's a 50-50. Sorry. Get where I can see here.
This is so fire. I hope you guys are realizing how amazing the quality animals he's showing right now.
Yeah, this is a 50-50 female. She's 2007, so she's like this is like a 12-year-old snake. But you know, emeralds, kind of like I was saying when we talked on the other show, she's, you know, they get a lot bigger than chondros, and you know, they are a lot kind of a lot, you know, a lot hardier. But you want to check out some ball pythons? Let's see here. So this is a male ultra clown. Kind of just holding him back from last year, just kind of to have an extra male. Have sold a few males, but this was pretty much the nicest one. So,
is he ready to eat too?
What's that?
Is he ready to eat as well?
Oh yeah, yeah. All these guys are. So this is the super blackhead. Super blackhead, fire, yellow belly. Super blackheads are super cool.
That is right up my alley, bro. I love that dark shit. I love that dark shit.
So I've got the dark stuff, and I'm hoping that I can put it with something like this, which is this is a cinnamon champagne ultra male. And you know, hopefully you can put some dark in there and darken it up. But this is just a really bright, you know, super yellowy kind of snake. And then this one is a champagne ultra male without the cinnamon. So you can kind of see what that does. What else is cool in here? Another female. This is a female ultra clown.
Shit, that
she's
fire looking, bro. Oh my god, that thing is ridiculous.
And then this is a really cool snake. This is probably one of my favorites from last year. This is a cinnamon. There we go. Cinnamon yellow belly ultra male.
Damn, look at the sides, bro. Dude, that ultra mill is like, it's something different, bro. It's almost like an orange dream, but like on steroids. It's more of a contrast. Like the orange is more poppy. I don't know, bro. It's
yeah,
it's a trip.
And what's cool about them is that, you know, like I'll show you some larger ones. They don't lose their color like a lot of ball pythons do. I mean, this snake right here is a super pastel ultra male.
That's why.
And I mean, that is just the craziest. You know, the orange in this snake is just ridiculous.
Damn, I think.
And then so here's some ultra clown females, and these are siblings. But you can see, you know, they got pretty good size on them. This is a 50-40 tub, and they're still super bright, super contrasty. You know, that's kind of what I like about ultramel is that, you know, as the animal ages, you don't really, you know, lose a ton of. They're not quite as bright as adults as when they're babies, but it's, you know, not like a lot of other genes that kind of fade out as they get older. Let's see what else. So just pretty cool. Leopard Ultra. Sorry, I'm having trouble seeing my camera. What is this? She's in shed. Bumblebee Ultra Male. So yeah, those are kind of the nicest ultra males that I've got, and then
dude, you're killing it right now, Marcial.
these are some baby green trees.
Oh my God, yes, bring it back, bring it back.
Hang on. How's that?
You are now tuned in to Trap Talk with MJ. You ain't never seen like anything like this right now on any podcast.
Hey, stay on so that you can tell me if I'm in focus or not, because I can't see the camera.
You're in focus and shit. You're
okay, cool.
So
this is these are all siblings. This one's about to shed, so he's not
oh my God, dude. Nuts.
Not super bright, but he's pretty blue snake. I've got a lot of stuff in shed right now. That one, this is a really nice one.
Oh my God, dude, look at that fucking red. I know it's in shed, but still, even with it, as soon as that shed comes off,
oh yeah, it's going to be unbelievable.
Look at that little alien head. That's a healthy fucking neonate, bro. That thing's eating proper.
So if you can,
go a little bit down. Yeah, go closer. Dude, it's crazy you say you can't see your camera. I feel so bad for Ed Marino. He was trying to do this too, and he was recording the bin. Like he wasn't recording the fucking snake. And I had to guide him, and now I know why. He didn't tell me he couldn't see the camera. Well, it's
so it gets
get it.
Yeah, remember how I was cutting out earlier? When I switched to the front camera, it just kept kicking me off for some reason. So that's why. So I can't see what I'm looking at. I'm having to use the front camera.
Oh my God, dude! And that's from what? That's from what pairing?
That is Tiger Stripe Calico.
Fuck.
This is another cool one. This one's really deep in shed too.
This is so cool. You look good.
So a lot of black spots coming in on this one. She'll shed any day, and I would imagine you can kind of see some of the blue coming in underneath. Like if you look around the baby pattern, you'll see little specks of blue where the black is. And after it sheds, it'll pick up all those scales will be blue. So I'll post a picture of this one on Instagram in a couple days. And then let's see. This guy's.
My God, look at that snake right there. You're good. You can go a little bit closer.
That's
dude. Whoa, that's what I'm talking about. Does that have any BIAC line in it at all?
Yes. So my tiger stripes are the tiger stripe females that I have are half BIAC. So you can see the BIAC influence in a lot of these babies.
Call that shit.
Yep. This one's really badass too.
I love it when I fucking call my chondro lines. That means I'm getting nerdy. Oh, that thing is sick.
Yeah, so this is a Versace tiger stripe. So this is a 66% possible head. And, they're like I was saying earlier, the Versace stuff is cool because it, regardless of whether that snake's het, it's still badass. Let's see. Here's a baby emerald. This is a 50-50 emerald.
You're on fire. You're on fire.
There we go.
Oh shit! Yes. What year? How old is this thing?
It's a baby. I produced it last year, 2019.
Okay, do me a favor. Just leave it there, please.
Yeah, so this is a 50-50 to 50-50. So what's cool about the 50-50s is that you can see, I spilled the water bowl, so it's usually not this wet in here, but you can kind of see how the white stays nice and white all the way up to the back of the head, whereas, the normal.
Yes, Steven's gonna be so mad at me, dude. I appreciate we're gonna keep going. But listen, okay, so one thing I noticed that Ed did is he keeps about a quarter inch, if not less, of water at the end, at the edge of at the bottom of the tub. Throughout their whole until they're basically subadults, I believe. And you don't do any of that, or
I do for babies. So like I just started doing it this year. So every year, usually I would have, issues with prolapses. And I think it was just because of dehydration, because you can give them a water bowl, but, like they're not necessarily going to always find it and drink out of it. So,
right.
If you keep a quarter inch of water in the bottom, when they're exploring at night, they just run into the water and, they drink. And so I haven't had any, knock on wood, haven't had any prolapses this year. And I've started kind of spraying the babies to where, once a day I'll mist them, like spray directly on them. But then I've got, you can see kind of right behind me, that fan right there. I've got it blowing on the rack that they're on. So it's, well ventilated, but also there's a lot of humidity in there. There's a lot of water available for them to drink.
All right.
Show you another cool one. This guy's pretty nice. That is a 50-50. This one's a couple years. Let's see, 2018. So it's been a picky feeder. wasn't a great starter, but that's a nice one. And,
I think it's nice.
That's pretty cool. So that is a Versace tiger stripe. Same as the other ones that I showed you a little while ago, but this one is a year older. So this is a 2018 animal.
Well, okay. I have a late bloomer here. Shout out to my girl right here, Novi Reptile. She's
what's up, Novi?
She's a huge ultra mill, like future star. Like she's all about the ultra mill. Like
she is.
She has a shit ton of other stuff going on. But ultra mill, she's super happy about, right?
Yeah.
I know you just sat down, but do you want to show her some of your something?
Sure.
Show her something really amazing ultra mill real quick. That way she could see it, because I know she just came. Shout out to Novi. Hi Novi. How are you, Novi?
I think she'll want to see the ultra male clown females. We'll show her those again.
This one's for you, Novi, okay?
So these are two females, sisters that I'm raising up. So that's for you. And then let's see what else. Let's see what this guy's doing. So these guys are breeding. That is a inchy yellow belly ultra male het clown bred to a double het ultra male clown. So he was kind of a late, he didn't want to breed early in the season, but here over the last couple weeks, he's decided to get with it.
Wow. Marcial, I feel like there's some sort of commission I owe you for that. I don't know what to do.
Well,
if you want to shoot me your PayPal, it's fine, but just make sure you put that towards a down payment towards one of your animals. That's all I care about. Speaking of that, like, okay, with your chondro stuff, is there a waiting list? I'm sure a lot of people are fucking on your bumper about getting or wanting one. Like how would a player like me get into any of your stuff, your emeralds, your chondros? Like how would that work?
Like, I mean, pretty much for the most part, the like I don't like keeping up with waiting lists and doing all that, especially because, people want to, like, back in the day, people would start a list as soon as you started a pairing, and they'd want, and to me, it's just, it's another thing to keep up with. And it's like, so many of them don't end up producing babies. Plus I tend to hold everything back. chondro wise. So if you're getting a chondro or an emerald from me, it's likely going to be sexed and color changed, because I keep everything for the most part, unless I just get overwhelmed with babies. So if I had a shitload of babies, and it was just getting too much to keep them all, then I would sell them. But that just hasn't happened in the last couple of years. So I'll keep them. They'll be sexed and color changed. And then the fairest way that I have come up to do it is I just post them on Facebook or Instagram, or just pretty much post them everywhere. And first come, first serve,
Well, wait. First come, first serve, you said, right?
Yeah.
Well, how many times have you showed and displayed animals like this on a podcast?
Never. You're the first.
I'm the first, right?
Yeah, you're the first.
Why don't we write that down? Okay, right. So I'm the first in something. So let's fucking we could channel that into a tiger or Versace. I'm just kidding. I don't know. Fucking. At the end of the day, we will talk about something, because you're like I said, we talked about earlier, having some sort of work from Ed Marino is technically like owning a fucking Ferrari. Owning something from fucking Marcial Mendez is like owning a Bugatti. It's like, it's a vehicle that you technically should you be owning something like this? No, but you're capable and you're capable. Somehow you made it happen in life. Dude,
right.
Listen, I'm not a fucking big guy on cars. Don't get me wrong. But I respect a motherfucker who could keep a legit ass looking car.
Oh yeah, totally.
If I have the fucking money for it, best believe I'm gonna have some fucking one or two gorgeous looking fucking cars that even if they're Sunday drivers, they're tucked away and they're there. That's how I look at my fucking chondros and my boreals. They're my designers. They're my gold. I fucking, you know what I mean? So what I'm trying to say is, man, it would be an honor someday to own something of your production. It'd be fucking amazing. Yeah. It'd be something
well, man, like I said, I hope to be able to, in the coming years, be able to have more to offer. Like I said, the last couple of years has just been kind of a rebuilding for me. Chondros, I'm maxed out on ball pythons,
right.
But chondros, I've got cage space. I've got empty cages. So I'm trying to, like I said, I've been selling very little. Most of the time, if I sell something, especially with the albino stuff, it's going to be a male, because I'm keeping all the females back to breed to try to prove them out, basically. So, hopefully in the coming years, I'll get these cages filled up and I won't have to keep everything.
I'll be right there, right? You're fucking Marcial. Especially another reason why I'm coming out of Alabama, man. What's up? Let's talk about real quick. Let's talk about your maintenance, your day to day. Are you a one man crew, or do you have?
Oh yeah. No, one man crew.
And it's been like that since the beginning.
Beginning, yeah. I've never had any help at all.
I've honestly, Marcial, other than Ed and other than a lot of boreal people, but I've never, I've heard a lot of people who get to a certain point who have help. And I see some people who have the most legit help that they can get, but I'm at a place where I don't think I could ever find anybody that could do the stuff that I want them to do at my level. I would always be pissed. I would always be unhappy. And I never want to have to rely on someone else to do my things, dude. I don't want it to be like that. And it's good to hear somebody like you who's fucking been a one-man fucking team, or just a one-man shop since the beginning, and that's inspiring, dude. I love that shit.
Yeah, to me, it's all about reading the animals and looking at the animals. I try to look at every animal in this room at least once a day. So I'll come in here. Normally, it's after work, and open every tub, put my eyes on every animal. And that way you always kind of know what's going on, what's going on with every snake, I think we talked about on Unfiltered, I don't use ultrasound for ball pythons. It's all just done by kind of feel and, all right, that female, I don't know what it is about her, but I feel like I should put the male in with her right now, and I'll throw the male in and, something will happen. I don't know what it is. It's nothing that I could explain to somebody and say, hey, when you're cleaning cages, keep an eye out for this, because
they're not going to do it.
They're not going to, or they just don't know, they don't know what to look for.
But they could do it, but there could be 1 week they're like, nah, I don't need to look. I haven't seen anything the last 2 weeks, but then that's the fucking week you miss it, you know? And we're so nerdy and geeked out on our shit to where we're looking for the same things repetitively. It's consistency and never stop the pattern that you have. Like, bro, we had Bill Brandt on the Unfiltered Reptiles podcast. Shout out to Bill Brandt. But Bill Brandt was like, he's like, there's no crazy fucking, you know, science behind breeding Timors. We breed Timors the exact same way we breed fucking ball pythons.
Right.
And the reason why I have a group of fucking 3.4 Timors is because how nobody wants to breed them because how hard they are. But after talking to Bill, it's not fucking hard. You just got to pay attention to your female. And then when your female showing the signs, you pair the male. The thing is, it takes maturity with Timors. It's not like ball pythons who do it in weight matters where, you know, you have a male who hits 600 grams showing fucking sperm plugs or whatever. He's good to go. Timors, the males have to at least be 4 to 5, if not older. Like,
yeah, basins are the same way. You know, basins have to be mature. The only times that I've had them, you know, where I've felt comfortable breeding them just because of their size has been 5 years plus. So, you know, and chondros is automatically 4 years. Most of the time it's 5 years. So and even ball pythons, you know, I hear about some people getting females, you know, getting a baby and raising it to 1,200 grams in a year or something like that. And I mean, I just don't feed mine enough to where I have any that do that. You know, I plan on, you know, my feeding and my plan is on the 3rd year. I don't even try breeding them, regardless of how big they are. I don't even try breeding them until they're 3 years old.
We're talking about ball pythons, right?
Ball pythons, yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah. That's like the minimum bear line. And the thing is, like, if your ball python slamming food and has been eating, 3 years is at that mark, give or take, you'll see that girl's ready to go.
Right.
That's always been my protocol. Is like, you know, like you said, 3 years from what I've understand, because I've raised fucking 90% of my collection since hatchlings. So
right.
And I started late 2016, and now we're in 2020. So if you do, you know, fucking, I'm not a mathematician or anything, but it's about around 3 years. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
So and it's all, I have females that are going for me, and they're all fucking, you know, it's all going as planned. But that's because they're all eating good. I have maybe a couple females that aren't breeding because they're for some reason smaller. They went off food for a while. Like, you know,
sure.
There's times where you deal with stuff like that, and it's, you know, it's unfortunate, but that's just nature. Like,
and there's times too, like I've found that some of my females that are like the best feeders, you know, that will eat every time. And, you know, cause I try to get pretty much all my stuff on frozen thawed. Just because my rodents, I do just enough to produce enough to feed that year's babies, you know, and I'm not trying to scale up the rodents because that's a fucking nightmare. Rodents are a nightmare. But so I produce just enough. So I try to get them on frozen thawed. And, you know, some of them, they definitely don't eat as well on frozen thawed as they do live. So some of them will just, you know, fucking pound it and eat it every time. But those aren't always the best breeders, you know. Sometimes you'll get a snake that can get to 1,500 grams on year 2, and on year 3, I've got one. It's a pewter double het ultra clown, and I was like, oh man, this one's going to be awesome. You know, she probably weighs 2,500 grams at 3 years old, and my male ultra clown has been breeding the shit out of her, and I don't think she's going to do anything. You know.
Damn.
So
that's just it's the way the cookie fucking rolls down, man. You just gotta. There's things that go accordingly and quicker than others, and there's other ones that have, you know, the lagger end of the stick.
I saw your hashtag fuck rats come up there a second ago. They're so terrible. I mean, like the whole rodent thing is like a whole nother universe, you know.
It's fucking, honestly, it's not for me. I'm okay because I fucking tried. I tried it. I had ASFs. I had 5 colonies of ASFs. And I had maybe about 3 racks of fucking of rats breeding and shit like that. And at first it was like, yeah, man, like, you know, and it was never to sell anything. I never wanted to fucking slang any of them. It was just to feed all my fucking animals, right? But there was times where I didn't have certain shit, so I had to buy things anyways. And then things work. And then here's where I went wrong. And this is where I tell people all the fucking time: you want to breed rats, go ahead, but don't fucking breed it in the same room with your animals. Okay, and that's bro. That was my dipshit fucking mistake that I made. I had my rats breeding in the snake trap with all the other animals. So I had fucking animals. I had rats escaping, and fucking chewing through fucking cords, like heat cords, like bro. And then I remember all my stress that I had and all my fucking hair pulling moments was because of fucking rats. And I was like, what am I fucking doing with these rats? I was like, this is my dad. My dad came in. He's like, son, let me talk to you. I'm like, what? He's like, what the fuck are these rats for, man? He's like, let's be honest. And I really thought about it. And dude, honestly, dude, rats are smart fucking animals.
They are. Yeah.
And of course, I was producing. Look, I take care of all my shit, so of course, I was producing some really healthy, cool-looking rats. And I was getting attached to even these rats because, like, I would breed them up. I'm still taking care of them. You know, some would fucking come right to my arm, and then my dad would look at me. He's like, "Dude, fuck the rats!" Like, and I'm like, "No, Dad, look how cute." He's like, "Dude, your son." He's like, "Son, you're losing it. He's like, "You're losing focus." And you know, and fucking, so it turned out, you know, and honestly, there were some snakes I had to pre-kill rats. So then here I am fucking killing rats by hand.
Whacking them, yeah.
And I'm just like, dude, I don't want to do this. And I almost had like call my, every time I had to whack like big rats, I would call my dad because my dad loved doing it. My dad was like, I'll fucking do it. Hell yeah. And I was like, dude, I just can't. Like, I'm just, at that point, I was too mentally weak. You know, now if I got to do it, I'm cool now. I've had contras die on me. I'm fucking solid.
It's like, super easy to make a gas, gas chamber for them too, to put them down.
Which, you know, I didn't learn till later either, but my life got a lot easier. All I'm trying to say, Marcial, is my life got 10 times easier when I got rid of the fucking rats. As soon as the rats got out and I got sponsored by Cold Blooded Cafe, JK, I was already getting rats from Cold Blooded, but they fucking, dude, getting that shit at my doorstep. But I will tell you this, okay? If you have a big collection, okay?
Oh, there's no doubt you have to do it, especially ball pythons. You have to do it. There's no way.
Ozzy doesn't. Ozzy Boyd's feeds live because how big his collection is. If he had to sit there and like you know what I mean? So I'm assuming.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you got to feed live to do it at that scale.
Yeah, right. Because it's like, fuck, dude, you can't sit there and dangle everything, or else you won't get nothing done. So
exactly.
So I do feed all my ball python live. Like they're all like, so anything as far as anything with ball pythons eat live. Except if it's a female that needs a big like medium sized rat, I don't like to feed anything over small live because I just don't want to fucking, even smalls could do damage, dude. Even smalls could fuck shit up. But I just don't want to have to feed a big fucking size rodent anything live. So anything medium to colossal or fucking, you know, cold-blooded has these fucking rats called mammoths. They're fucking huge. I ain't never seen rats this big my entire life. I don't know what they do. I don't know if they inject them with steroids. I don't fucking know. Either way, my retics love them. My bigger snakes love them. They do the job, you know, and they get delivered to my doorstep for $30 flat rate shipping. That wasn't a marketing scheme or anything. I'm just
talking about this. I've had escapees before. Man, escapees can just they wreak havoc, man. Especially like if they get out in the mouse, like I call it the mouse house. They get out in the mouse house, they fucking like, you know, they'll chew the water lines up, and then the whole fucking, like, you know, I don't have, like, it's not hard piped in. I have like a couple of 5-gallon buckets that I use, like, you know, just gravity waterers or whatever. But man, if they'll get out, and if it's on the, you know, top shelf, it just fills the fucking whole tub up with water, and then it cascades down to the next shelf, and then, you know, you walk in and it's just it's fucking like it's terrible. It's so bad.
Oh yeah, dude, it really is. That's why it's like my life, like I said, my life drastically changed in a positive way when I got rid of the fucking rats. The rats was like, that was the most fucking work on a weekly basis. Like I had a fucking, like, the bedding, the food, and I fed them really good premium food. I didn't feed them the bullshit food. I paid good money for the food I was eating.
It's still it is cheaper. It's a lot cheaper to produce your own than to buy them frozen or from somebody else. But, you know,
because it really
I mean, if I had the facility to do it, and I could, like, you know, because that's something that you could hire help for. You know, you could hire somebody to, like, I would feel totally comfortable training somebody how to take care of the rodents, not the snakes, but definitely the rodents. And you could get somebody to do it for you.
It's not easy though, Marshall.
No, I know. I know.
I talk to Steven on a daily basis, and we're always talking about how fucking hard it is keeping his employees that are, that are legit and not fucking, you know, there to fucking, just waste the clock and not fucking actually do work and the animals. Because if you're not an animal lover, but you're working with animals, like, whoa.
Right. Yeah, it's not going to last very long, or you're just going to you're going to do a shitty job, you know?
Yeah. Unfortunately. So that's going back to why I appreciate being able to do what I do just myself. I don't need to hire nobody. And the thing is too, man, I don't like to travel, bro, because I don't like to leave this place. Every time I leave this place, I have to come back to some unfortunate event. I mean, it's been a lot less lately. Like, I went to my wedding. My wedding was at a fucking destination wedding in Mexico, some Playa del Carmen or some. No shit, my wife's gonna get mad. Where was it? Fuck. It was like, oh my god, it was Playa Mujeres. That's what it was. So it's Playa Mujeres, and I think I came back, and the only thing that was bad was he didn't clean any of the retics cages. So let's just think, the retics happen to shit every 2 days. They're fucking crazy as fuck. So the retics happened to shit the day or the night I left, and literally they shit on top of the shit on top of the shit. So it was and on top of that, he didn't air my room out. So I told him, look, open the windows every morning, and he never did. So the heat, everything was all like just baked.
You just came back to disaster.
Bro, I walked in and I never smelled, like, I had tears in my eyes because of fumes. Like, I was like, it smelled like a gas chamber. I was like, oh my fucking God. I was like, why does it smell like this? And then I just turned out nothing was dead. It was just what was fucking not cleaned up. And I couldn't believe
it's amazing. I mean, you can walk into a snake room, and if one snake has taken a shit, you can smell it. You know, if there's 100 snakes in the room, and so what I do, so I pretty much will take like maybe one vacation a year where I'll be gone for like a week or so, and so for like the month leading up to it, I pretty much stop feeding everything. So let them just completely clean their system out, and then right before I leave, like maybe 2 or 3 days before, I'll feed everything. And then, while you're gone, you don't come back to a huge, fucking disaster, because nothing's shitting, nothing's, everything's just kind of chilling while you're gone. So that's the only way. And even still, being gone for a whole week without having at least somebody come and, come in and just check, just like, check on things, whether it's my dad or a friend, that, just to have them come in and, make sure that, the fucking thermostat's not broken or, whatever. That's the stuff that I worry about, and that's why I hate leaving for long periods of time too. You can't do it.
I don't give a fuck what happens in my life. If I have a snake, if I have a chondra that comes out of that egg, I have a fucking 2 broken knees. I'm not getting surgery until fucking until those things are a year established, eating, and then then I'll get surgery or something. But no, dude, I'm not leaving. I'm not moving away from that shit, because nothing against the people who look after it. Just anything could go wrong at any minute, and you just have to be able to be aware on it, and just be able to fucking find it and fix it right away. Like,
right.
And the thing is, like, my shout out to my homie who looks after my stuff, but my boy was like, well, I asked him, I was like, yo, why does my room smell like this? Like, what the fuck? And, the windows weren't open. That's one thing, but still, like, what was missed? And there was I have a couple fucking 6x2 black, vision cages, and the shit was in the left corner. And I guess he missed it, but like, how do you miss? Like, if you're really checking, how do you miss it? You know what I mean? But
yeah, it's hard to miss. You can smell it.
But he missed it, and so it's just like, fuck, like, those are things I would never miss. Personally, me, I would never miss it. So that's why it's like, I don't fucking, what are you going to do? I'm just not going to leave. I don't know.
That sucks, man. That's one part about it that I definitely don't like, is it puts a damper on your style. It cramps your style if you like to travel or you like to, to be gone. Like, if you don't, then it's no big deal. But definitely going out of town for long periods of time is no bueno.
Probably not feasible. I'm telling you. unless you got some sort of fucking Stephen Kush or some fucking Jesse Garcia or like some sort of like, look, there's people out there where I'm like, dude, I would kill for that kind of help, but it's just not common. It's not something that I hear a lot. These, you know what I mean? Like, and I don't know, Jesse Garcia's, that's Miguel Garcia's brother, and they have a really good partnership going on. His Instagram's the AEP Foreman, and he's fucking like, he's a huge piece of the Always Evolving Pythons brand, and like, dude, guy does all the maintenance as far as like the snake shit and all that stuff and all the feeding, and he's just a huge help for his brother. And then obviously
that's awesome.
And then obviously look at Stephen Kush. Stephen Kush fucking straight, he risked everything as far as college, even though he hated college, but he said, fuck school, fuck everything I'm doing. I'm going to go ahead and just fucking invest everything in Zoo Dreams, and fucking packed all his shit up, moved over to Indianapolis with fucking where he's living. And he's literally living at the barn. Like he lives he lives in the Zoo Dreams. You know what I mean? And it's he's been doing it for over a year now. He's fucking, dude, it's only gonna, that fucking, this brand is only going places because of Steven. I'm telling you right now. And Desiree, of course. But I'm so happy. I'm so happy for him.
It's hard to find somebody that you could trust like that, to be able to, fuck, I'd love it, man. Like if all I had to do, if I could just come in here every day and, check on, like, look at snakes, but not have to clean anything or not have to do anything except for look at them. I mean, that would be just unbelievable,
But I don't think you find people like that. They find you. I think that's
right.
How it works.
Yeah.
It has to be meant to be. And I think, I don't know, man. Like, I think it's meant to be that you're able to do what you're doing by yourself. And there's no issue with that. And I kind of hope, not that I hope, but I'm okay with if that's what it is for me, because I'm loving what I'm doing right now. I love that it's just me, and but I do have big fucking plans mentally what I want to do with this. You know what I mean? It's gonna take.
The problem doing it by yourself is the same thing with any type of business. Is you can't scale. You can't scale up. There's just only so much you can do by yourself, and so that is one of the downsides of doing it by yourself. Is you can't like I look at like JKR, for example. Chase is a big help for him and all his people that he's got. I'm sure he's got more other people besides Chase that help him out. And it allows Justin to basically do like what I'm saying. He can concentrate on the things that the other people can't do. So he's only doing the stuff that he can do, or the stuff that only he can do, and he's got the kind of the grunt work, or at least some percentage of it farmed out to somebody else. So to scale, that's how you have to do if you have those kind of aspirations to be a breeder of that that size and have that kind of operation going. There's no fucking way you could do it by yourself. You've got to find people that you can trust and that are into it and that are will to help you. And I could see either way. I could see it being hard to find. I could also see once you get to a certain level, you probably have people that want to come work for you to learn or to so you just definitely takes a certain type of person. You've got to be able to like, I'm sure Steven's not, like I just can't imagine like just the day to day of looking after an operation like that, just all the rodents and the fucking all the shit that they have, the monitors and the.
He has a fucking team. He has 2 managers underneath him and a few employees underneath that. So he's definitely running a squad, legitimate squad, day to day. But majority of that squad oversees the rodents. They're all in the barn. And
right.
Steven's the manager for, like, he manages both sides, but his primarily focus is the reptile room. You know what I mean? All the spraying, all the checking, all the fucking feeding, all that stuff. Desiree comes through every now and then and stuff when she can, but she's fucking growing up, Lars fucking little AK mini forest. So
yeah,
you know what I mean? So they're just, man, they got a lot on their plate, but everything's moving in a good direction. So I'm super happy for that, man. I'm super happy for them. And I'm just lucky enough to have them a part of the podcast still. Because I was planning on still keeping that going. Like the whole purpose of that podcast was because, Forrest Forrest had the people to bring on that probably nobody could really bring on. Like dude, you only came on the podcast because you had that connection with Desiree. I didn't.
Sure.
I didn't know you like that at all, and I don't know. I don't think I would have. I don't know. The same thing with Ed. Ed led from Ryan Wilson. Ryan Wilson only came on because fucking how close he was with Forrest. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and I have that like in Forrest's debt all the time. But Forrest and I always had the idea of bringing people we always admired and look up to on that normally doesn't put themselves out there, but yet we keep it as real as possible. Like we don't like the sugarcoat shit. We're not fucking here to we don't have an agenda or a fucking, you know what I mean? We're just talking to you like if we were to meet in person, because I could tell you what, man, I don't know. When you have people out in front of a platform where they have to be a certain way, it's way different than talking to them in person. Am I right?
Sure. Yeah, totally.
You know what I mean, like I've like Brian Barczyk is one person where through his YouTube videos, I always thought he was a certain way. Like, wow,
I'm sure he's not. Yeah, I'm sure he's nothing like he is in his YouTube videos.
The most fucking laid back person in person. Like, I don't know, he's a way different thing. But like, honestly, he's meant for his the YouTube life he's meant for all that shit. Like it's amazing. But also
he's good at it. Yeah, he's really good at it.
Yeah, but meeting him in person was like a fucking whole other level. And when we had him on the podcast, we got a taste of that. You know what I mean? Because he was super just like fucking just, and not that I didn't think you would be like that. You were super laid back on the Unfiltered podcast and shit, man. That's why I had to get you on here, man. I mean, look, we're just shy of 3 hours and fucking you've been giving us all the gold, and my fucking fans are going nuts over the shit that you're showing. And it's been an amazing time, man. It's been an honor, Marcial. I'm not gonna lie. It's really sick.
Oh, thanks, man. It's been great. I feel like I've watched, gone back and watched some of the previous podcasts. I feel like I know you for some reason, So,
dude, I can't. Once all this shit goes down, once this shit goes away, I want to get more on the travel tip and kind of put myself out there more. I want you to come to San Diego, man. Try to get yourself.
I want to come to San Diego. That'd be awesome.
Check it off the list. I would come, and then I'll make sure I go try fucking white-looking pulled fucking pork barbecue, because I definitely want to see what that's all about. I've been obsessed with barbecue majority of my life, and I've never seen white. I'm interested. I want to see what it's all about.
Yeah, you're gonna love this video that I'm gonna send you.
I can't wait. Hey, Marcial, real quick before we let you go, man, and we break ties. Can you please give us anybody like myself or anybody in the game who's wanting to open or branch out, like they're into ball pythons, they wanted to get into chondros, and they're really passionate and they're starting from the bottom up. Like, what's a good message you have for those people?
I mean, the number one message is, buy captive bred only. Don't buy imports. They're just, for a beginner at least, until you, if you get a couple years under you and you want to try working with imports, that's, go for it. But for the beginner chondro keeper, the number one thing is buy captive bred. Be patient. You got to have a lot of patience to work with these snakes. They're not ball pythons. So if you're coming from ball pythons and you're, I feel like with the ball pythons, and maybe this is just me, it's a lot more kind of just because there's a lot more people involved, and just the way that kind of morph the structure of the business works. It feels like it's always kind of a rat race, like you got to be the first person to produce this or this or that. If you come to green tree pythons or emeralds with that attitude, you're not going to be successful. You've got to be patient. The animals are going to do what they want to do. They're on their own, schedule, and their own, what you want to make them do is not going to happen. They're going to do what they want. So, that's the main thing. Be patient, buy babies, buy captive bred, raise the animals yourself. And, there certainly are people that have been successful doing it other ways, but that's, the way that I have, kind of assembled this stuff is all just from that, taking it slow. Don't get in over your head, either work wise or financially. Don't stick your neck out there financially unless you're able to do it. And you want the snakes to pay for themselves after a certain point. You don't want to be spending more money than the snakes are bringing in. because it makes it really easy to get in over your head. So if you just start with a set amount, whatever that amount is, spend that and say, all right, I'm not buying anything else until these guys start paying for their own, paying their own way. And I'm not going to buy anything else until I can buy it with the money that I've made selling these babies, this offspring.
No free rent.
Yeah, no free rent. Exactly.
You're gonna pay today, motherfucker. Oh man, Marcial Mendez in the fucking building, man. I commend you, Marcial. You are somebody who, as soon as I got into the Boreal game and I went nuts and researching, you came up really quickly upon that. And then, I mean, fuck, man, you're an amazing dude, man. You're a good example of what it takes if you have patience and if you're really dialed in and you really do what you're focused on. This is the outcome. I'm telling you right now. And
yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man.
Nice to share it every now and then, because most of the people, I would assume most snake people, most of your friends aren't into it. There's just a select few people that you can.
What do you mean friends? I don't have friends. I don't. I mean, there's a few out there, but they're all kind of like, they're watching from afar and they're like, wow, like they're getting more impressed as the years go on. But dude, I'm a hermit, bro. I stay home. I love to stay home because I'm close to my animals. I don't know, man. I'm just in a happy place. I've been in a happy place for a long time, ever since I got in this hobby. So why change it?
Yeah, that's what it's all about. You gotta love doing it, and you gotta love whatever it is that you're working with, and because like we were talking about earlier, when it gets to be a grind and when it gets to be work, it's really fucking bad if you don't like what you're working with,
And because that's when things start getting old and you're like, you know what I mean? When you start having a fucking bitch about things mentally and you don't see the results because results are going to come.
Yeah.
It becomes a psychological thing. And
right.
I've never had, I think that's maybe why I started adding new shit, is because adding new stuff got me so involved with establishment and like it kept my mind busy to where I was like, oh man, ball pythons are big enough to breed now. And then like, then all of a sudden, and then all that became fun. But I mean, honestly, like it's all going to happen. Listen, if you're in this and you're patient, you're feeding your animals, they're healthy, it's going to happen. Just fucking.
Yeah, it is. It just takes time. It's going to be on their time, not your time.
Look, Marcial, I'm looking forward to the shirt you sent me in the mail. I haven't gotten it yet because otherwise I'd be wearing it. So I know yours is coming too. So I gave you Marcial's going to be a part of the elite private reserved Zoo Dream Supreme edition. We all agreed we agreed on a team who would be getting this shirt, and you are one of them, my man. So fuck yeah, fucking
that's awesome.
Marcial Mendez, guys. You have a good night, man. We're gonna
you too.
We'll touch base and we'll talk more. I want that link to the pulled pork.
Yes, I'll send that to you.
And then how I'm above anyone else on the wait list for a chondro clutch.
All right.
I'm just people off. All right, man. We'll talk soon, okay, Marcial?
All right, brother. All right, take it easy, MJ. See you, buddy.
Honor as fuck, Marcial Mendez. Dude, I'm fucking pumped, man. What a cool fucking guy. Cool ass motherfucker. Chill as shit. Everything he has and displayed is dreamy as fuck. He didn't show any of the Amazons. I'm not disappointed. I should have mentioned that, but he has amazing, pure red looking Amazon tree boas. But fuck, dude, anything this guy has is complete fire. It's complete fucking just mind blowing, man. So that was a really good episode, man. I'm super stoked. He gave us a good, just shy under 3 hours. Shout out to everyone in the comments, man. I mean, I appreciate you guys. My boy Slither, it's always the end when I start slurring shit. Last week's Trap Salute, fucking in the building, Slither and Serpents, man. I got something that I want to talk to you. I'm going to be sending your way, so we'll talk more in the DMs later, man. But shout out to my boy Slither, my boy Michael Jordan in the building. We're going to talk about real quick this week's Trap Salute, right? Shout out to the people who sent me stuff. I've already gotten some shirts in and stuff, man. So that's sick. I've already gotten some shirts in. I've gotten some stickers. I'm not the type who gets everything. I'm not gonna get everything and show everything at once. I'm gonna be showing it sporadically spread it out, right? So I got some cool stuff in. So the trap salute I want to give, right, is to somebody who did actually send me a shirt this week. Dude, this guy, I've already admired like his hustle with the YouTube, his hustle with his Instagram. He's picking up some really, really high quality stuff, picked up a few things from me. But dude, this guy's on a mission. He's doing really, really well. He's connected with some people that I'm connected with. And I'm really, okay, look, what really did it for me was his shirts, right? Oops, sorry. But what really did it for me was the shirts, all right? My boy fucking Shane Kelly, Small Town Exotics, right? This is the first motherfucking shirt I ever got that was attached with a sticker. All right, hold on. And then it has his business card. Wait, I can't see shit. His business card. Yo, look at the back. Like, tell me this ain't fucking marketing 101. Like, why haven't I been doing this shit? Right there, my boy Shane Kelly. Look at that marketing skills. Bro. I talked to Shane and I was like, Shane, I cannot believe how impressed I am with your marketing skills. You know what he said? It was his wife's idea. Shout out to his wife. His wife thought about this shit. This is some shit my wife would think about, but talk about that later. Dude. Yo. Good shit, Shane. I'm very impressed, man. Thank you for the shirt. And you are the trap salute of the week, my man. Shane Kelly. I'm going to put his information in the description below. Check him out on Instagram, Small Town Exotics. Make sure you check out his YouTube. Guy has things moving, man. I'm very excited for my boy Shane. Big family man. You know, he holds it down with his fucking kids and his wife. Obviously, his wife is a huge part of what he's doing. Like, yo, this is sick as fuck. We all know red is my color. But, yo, this is, I don't know, man. This I don't even know how much this probably costs. This probably costs a catch. I don't know. I'll have to talk about him, but I think this is super smart. Look, he even has local cook. So obviously this fool's a Freedom Breeder fucking sponsor. Shout out to the Freedom Breeder crew. Wait, hold on. Shout out to the Freedom Breeder crew. This fool, local cocoa block sales. Freedom Breeder. Damn, Shane Kelly. Dog, this fool, he's new in the game and he's doing shit that nobody else is doing from what I can tell. I don't know. I think Shane deserves a slot on here on the Trap Talk with MJ. We'll see. We'll talk more, man. But yeah, sick ass shirt, Shane. Thank you so much, bro. You're the fucking man. Keep doing what you're doing. Setting a good example for anybody who's just coming in here and anybody who has a motive to want to do things in this hobby and whatnot. Anybody who might be discouraged, just keep fucking finding ideas to grow. That's what Shane does, and it's working for him, man. So, all right, man. Good show, guys. You guys are all awesome. Tune in for this weekend's episode at the Unfiltered Reptiles podcast. We got somebody cool as fuck that we're going to interview. I'm not going to drop anything yet. I think I have to wait till tomorrow. Preferably, I think that's what we all want. So, but it's going to be really awesome. It's going to be somebody that we're all going to want to, check out what she has to hear because it's a female. Shout out to all the girl power out there. But we're going to have some females, or we're going to have a female in the building this weekend, spitting out her knowledge and her history with animals. And she has a pretty good track history. Let me just say, she has a good resume. And we all know who the hell she is. So looking forward to that, man. Listen, all my subscribers out there, all my viewers out there, right? Listen, I have over 1,000 subscribers. I don't have over 1,000 viewers. So the viewers who I have, and I love my subscribers too, but my viewers, you guys are very close to my heart. You guys are my ride or die. Thank you so much for supporting this channel, supporting the podcast. Because I'm just continuing to think of ideas of bringing more cool guests on. I have ideas that's going to at least last to 2021, but I want to keep going. I don't want to stop. So with your support, it keeps me motivated, keeps me wanting to fucking think of things. And I have some really cool shit that I'm going to bring to the table. So I appreciate every single one of you. Can't wait for my next week's Trap Salute of the Week. Can't wait for my next week's guest. My next week's guest is going to be fucking sick. So get ready for that. A lot of you guys know who next week's guest is pretty well on the Instagram platform and whatnot because he's the man. Simple as that. So Shout out to everybody. Shout out to all my supporters. I'll see you guys on the Unfiltered Reptiles podcast show this weekend. Hit me up. I know you guys like the Zoo Dreams hat. I think we might come out with it. I don't know. Let me know how you guys think about the hat. I know Steven can't wait for his. If you guys have not copped any memorial stuff or any Zoo Dreams Supreme Edition t-shirts, we do have a final batch of stuff that we're selling. So reach out to me, man. Let me know, because we're not making it again. We're done. It's done. Sorry. Nothing lasts forever, right? But yeah, we're going to tune in next week, man. You guys are awesome. Appreciate all my supporters. And yeah, man, have a good night. See you.